Well, Fester, I'm glad that you didn't decide to take off today because it's the kids' first day of school.
Yeah.
Because if you did, I'd be the only freaking one in the studio right now, at the departure of Froggy. And, Roxanne, was there a reason why she told me at like the last minute of the show? Was it on the show? Was it all? I think, was it off the air or on the air?
No, it was the last couple of seconds of the show.
Yeah, I mean, the show closed music was playing, and those that listen to the whole show every day, which I highly recommend, because if you like what you hear during the time you listen and you only get a smidge, well, man, you're just missing a crap ton of great stuff. Like this show closed music, the famous Apache, which is a gigantic influence on, rap music, with this, the drum beat from the song Apache.
Yes.
Yeah. Boom. And it was like the last, 10 seconds of the show, Roxanne decides to just try to slide in, drop in. Oh, I'm not going to be there Monday because it's the kid's first day of school. Well, you got a stay-at-home husband, dad, You got Mr. Mom at home. He brings him to school. What's different about today, anyway?
Listen, it's the first day of school. It's not Roxanne's fault of the staffing decisions that management made around here.
Right. Well,
I mean, if you're stuck doing a show by yourself, it is no fault of mine, and it is no fault of Roxanne.
And that's going to happen. That's going to happen at some point, I'm sure. I'm going to be in the studio all by myself with no Fester, no Roxanne.
Next month, September, I'm out for almost a week, and then Roxanne is out the exact next week.
Yes.
She booked a cruise in the middle of September. Yeah. Good for her.
Oh my God, radio companies make some dumbass decisions these days, don't they? Radio, the whole media industry is in some trouble. Whether it's television, I mean, again, look at how TV has cut back. You look at local news, for instance, and local news in the Tampa Bay market was 1,000% better in, let's say, 1998 or 2000 than where we are today. You have all these reporters that are being hired that don't belong on television in this size market. It's like, you just step out of a college junior class or something,
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I flip around the local channels and I'm like, oh my God, some of these reporters that they're bringing in and hiring for less money today than they were paying 25 years ago. Seriously. Same thing in radio. People say, hey, MJ, what do you think about a career in media for my kid? And I'm like, no.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. No, forget it. The heyday has passed. Anyway, first day of school today.
Yes.
For every major county. So what? Hillsborough, Pinellas, Pasco, Polk, Sarasota, Manatee. So all the counties, the major counties in our listening area. I didn't check Hernando. Okay, so Hernando opens today as well, and we've got counties out to the southeast.
Not to say Hardee County isn't a major county.
What about Hardee County?
I don't even think they have a high school in Hardee County.
Yes, they do.
Do they?
Yeah, it stops at middle school in Hardee County. It's
then you have to get married or something. Don't call from Hardee County. I'm joking.
Yeah.
Please, people.
First day of school, Fester clearly doesn't give a flying crap about. Andrew's telling me that Hardee County also starts today. Yeah. The 12th is the magic day for school opening up.
This is like the first year that I can recall where every county opened up the same day. Usually, counties are one day off. School starts on Monday.
No. A lot of the counties always start the same day. A lot of counties end different days.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what it is. As far as I can remember, most counties launched first day of school the same day, but the end of the school year, there's some variation in final days is what it comes down to.
I will tell you, today is one of my favorite days on social media because everybody posts pictures of their kids on the first day of school.
Oh, that's nice.
I always enjoy that.
Yeah.
I always enjoy
I remember when Chloe and Julian were little, I used to take a picture of them. I'm trying to remember because I was
your parents do that.
And it wasn't proof of life. No, I'm trying to remember. Oh, hang on a minute. I'm trying to remember. So wait a minute. If I was doing the morning show, I know what it is. It's when I stopped doing the morning show.
Yeah.
When I stopped doing the morning show, when the first iteration of the MJ Morning Show ended in 2012, I was home for the mornings because I was just doing my syndicated afternoon show.
Was Chloe in third grade?
Yeah, you know what? I'm trying to remember in what grade she was, but I would take a picture of them before Michelle drove them off to school. And I've got a number of shots over the years, like, 2012. Yeah. So it would have been like August of 2012 and then 13, 14. And I know I took a whole series of pictures of the kids as they were standing in the front yard. We found a nice shrub. We found a nice bush for them to stand in front of while I snapped a picture of Chloe and Julian on their first day of school for a certain number of grades.
That's exciting.
So, listen, be careful out there. Obviously, the school buses are on the road. I think I heard that, like, Hillsborough County, how many school buses Hillsborough County has?
Oh, gosh. 2,000?
Nah, you're like twice as high. I think it's like
I have no idea.
I think it's like 1,000.
I have no idea.
That's a lot of buses.
No kidding.
1,000 buses is a lot. I believe Hillsborough County has about 1,000 buses. Anyway, don't be a jackass. Don't be a jackwagon and run by these buses when the red flashing lights are on. And I'll get into this in greater detail later on. You know, in Hillsborough County, and I'm sure there are other counties that have things that are similar, but Hillsborough County, they have a camera system that now, I don't know if every bus is outfitted, but a lot of the buses in Hillsborough County, a lot of the school buses, when they stop and the red lights come on, it starts a video surveillance camera which will take pictures of cars that blow by the school bus. It'll take a picture of your license plate, and like the red light cameras in the city of Tampa and other places around the state, you can get a ticket in the mail and have to pay a fine if you blow by a school bus. So keep in mind, these school buses, at least in Hillsborough County, have surveillance cameras. And then, I'll get into this in more detail later on, the bus driver has this red panic button.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And when a reckless driver flies by endangering the kids with the red flashing school bus lights on, the driver can hit a panic button, and it timestamps. It sends a special alert to headquarters, and it just sends an alert that, a reckless car just drove by. So it timestamps and marks that spot that was recorded by the bus. So don't be a jackwagon and run by school buses with flashing lights. All right, going to be a busy, and I'll get into more detail on that later on, some more specifics on that. Oh, and also the Tampa police chief's supposed to join us about 7:25 or so. Lee Burkall, who is the TPD chief, wanted to talk about back to school and road safety today, and I said absolutely. Certainly. Absolutely. So that'll happen later on. Hey, busy Monday morning. Our typical shenanigans and crapola is on the way on the MJ Morning Show. First, traffic and Pat, who I got $1,000. Pat mentions first day of school right now. Right, Pat?
Crash on the interstate now, southbound.
MJ Morning Show on Q105. MJ and Fester this morning. Roxanne is working with the kids on the first day of school today. So, and Roxanne said we can call her as many times this morning as we'd like. Well, if she's taken the day off to take the kids to school, which I don't know. I don't.
It's a big day today. Listen,
I know, but we do a morning show.
Who cares?
I never took off.
Who cares?
What do you mean? Who cares?
Who cares?
I never took off the first day of school from the MJ Morning Show over the years.
Anything that is important to the family, I sometimes deem it more important than the show. I mean, listen, this is a big day.
What if I deemed that I wouldn't be here?
The
show wouldn't be on the air.
And yet still we would survive, and the sun would come up tomorrow, and everybody would go to work and live their day. Are you sure
the sun would come up tomorrow, Annie? I'd like to put you in a red wig and a red dress. Big fat Fester Annie.
You're a real hard knock life we have here. Real hard knock.
It's the hard knock life.
Listen,
take the bass line out.
Listen, Daddy Warbucks, why don't you calm down and give Roxanne her day off? This is a family day for her, something that's important. I mean, last year I took off for my kids' Thanksgiving presentation. Roxanne took off.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't recall that.
I
really?
missed half a show. I think I came in.
So you think I'm being an unreasonable hard ass?
Hey, listen, relax. Whatever this company's situation is. Whatever the company's situation is, it's not going to change if Roxanne walks her kids into school the first day.
All right.
Thank you, Daddy Warbucks.
So should we call Roxanne this morning? It's almost like she's begging for us to call, for her to email me saying, call me as much as you'd like this morning. But the point is, I got sidetracked. If she's busy with her kids and taking off from the show today to take the kids to school, then the question is, how can we call as many times as we want? It seems that she would be busy with the kids and wouldn't be able to talk to us.
Listen,
am I going to call up and, hey, Roxanne, you said to call as many times. Hey, I can't talk right now. I'm loading up the kids. Or hey, I can't talk right now. I'm in car line right now. Can't talk. I mean, hello.
You're really overanalyzing this. If you want to talk to her, give her a call if you can.
Me? No. I don't. Me overanalyzing stuff?
A little bit.
No.
like a skosh too much.
Yes.
So, listen, have a good day with your kids, Rox. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, should we call her?
If you want to. I mean, not to see how she's doing. Who cares? But if you have something that's relevant, then yes.
All right, I have a school-related story. We need to decide, is this funny or sick? Maybe sick's not the right word. Funny or morbid? Anyway, a teacher whose mother died got a whole bunch of sympathy cards from the students.
Right, okay. That seems appropriate.
Kid was 7 at the time. But this is an old situation in the fact that somehow the student who was 7 years later still had the card. So I guess they gave the cards to the teacher, but somehow the students ended up with their cards back.
Okay.
Because the individual, now a full-grown adult, has dug up this old nostalgic grade school stuff from when she was 7 years old. 7 years old puts you at what, like first or second grade?
Yeah, second grade. Yeah, it sounds right.
7 years old. Listen to this. This is a social media video that's floating around that this woman, a girl then, made a sympathy card at the age of 7 for a grieving teacher who had lost her mother. Lindsay Shrad Keeling is now 32 years old. And she's dug up the old sympathy card that somehow was in like a pile of old, school stuff, old kid stuff.
Yeah, the box in the attic.
Hang on a minute. Andrew just said in my ear.
What?
Andrew, go ahead. Put your mic on. Say that on the ear. Go say it on the ear.
Yeah, perhaps maybe saying dug up isn't the right way to say it.
Because of the
mother, right,
mother
Andrew,
passing away.
I'm thinking an attic, and you're thinking bodies in a grave.
Yeah, hey, listen, it could have been a cremation. Didn't have to be a burial.
Really inappropriate, Andrew.
All right. So It's actually pretty cute here. So
What does the card say?
I'm going to read. I'm still kind of chuckling and laughing at this thing. I'm so sorry, computer teacher. Not even the teacher's name. It was the computer teacher. I'm so sorry, computer teacher, that your mom had to die. Sorry, but everybody has to die someday. Hasts, Hasts. And then there's a little scribble, a drawing of a little computer, a monitor and a keyboard, which doesn't look like a 7-year-old drew it. Looks like a 3-year-old drew it. Okay,
that is gold right there, man. I think it's unfair to have a 7-year-old write a sympathy card in the first place. However, everything's true.
Now I wonder how that assignment was given, so I'm thinking if the teacher was out during the grieving period and funeral, was it a substitute that said to the kids in class, you know what, your teacher's mother passed away, let's all write a card? Or could it have been the mother of the then 7-year-old girl that said, hey, write a little sympathy card for your teacher? But who doesn't put the teacher's name in there?
No. That has to be an in-class assignment.
You think so?
Because there's no way a mother would let that card leave her house.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you know what? You're right.
Michelle wanted Chloe to write a card, and it said, well, everybody has to die sometime, computer teacher.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That's not leaving the house.
Yeah, and as a parent, you got to look at what your kid did.
Yeah.
Especially if you've suggested that you write a sympathy. You're right. You know what? That's some brilliant Sherlock Holmes deductions right there.
Listen, I can picture the sub coming in.
You're a detective.
Or maybe another teacher.
You're a sleuth.
I am. So, and then the kids say,
No, you're a sloth.
A sloth sleuth. A sloth slob sleuth.
You're a sloth.
So listen, the teacher comes in, the sub comes in, and the kid's like, "What can we do?" I mean, you really can't do much when somebody's relative dies. But what can we do for our teacher? Well, you can write a sympathy card.
I got to read this again. I am so sorry, computer teacher. Why did they write Miss Blank or Mrs. Blank? Why is it I'm so sorry, computer teacher, that your mom had to die? Sorry, but everyone has to die someday.
That's some real gangster stuff right there.
So funny or sick? Funny or morbid? Not to be confused with Funny or Die. Did that die on the Vine? Is that Funny or Die still? Remember Will Ferrell was part of that?
I feel like it got sold for a lot of money somewhere.
And then just
I think Yahoo
fizzled.
bought it.
No, they didn't.
I maybe I'm wrong.
Do me a favor, type in what happened to Funny or Die.
Funny or Die. It's a comedy page now.
Yeah, we make comedy. But is Will Ferrell still part of that thing?
Zach Galifianakis does his Between Two Ferns show on it.
It is? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know if I've ever seen that.
I mean,
I'm aware of it, but you know what? You're right. I've seen like little excerpts, but I've never like watched the entire Between Two Ferns. Whatever the heck you call it. Hey, you know what I have? I have a phenomenal. I've got a terrific pile of early morons in the news. Also, I have like 2 animal stories because, hey, people love animal videos.
I love animal videos.
People love like America's Funniest Videos. Oh, people love a good, a cat that, something crazy happens, or a dog or whatever. I've got 2 animal stories that I didn't get to on Friday's show that I think are really worthy as carryovers. Also, morons in the news. Great stuff. Next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105 at 6:30. Let me... Let's do some early morons in the news on the MJ Morning Show, 6:40 here on a Monday, the 12th of August, which is also the first day of school for virtually all counties that I know of. You know, all the counties in our listening area start school today, and then private schools typically follow the public school schedule.
Typically speaking, so everybody be safe on the roads, look out for the buses, be
Yep.
careful for the kids at the bus stop, all that stuff.
At early morons in the news, I didn't get to this one last week. This is actually a little more than a moron. I mean, this is a real, case of a teenage bad freaking apple. But there was a 16-year-old who's been charged, and they're still looking for the other one. Last I saw, there were two kids, and they have one. They were looking for the other. But initially, a 16-year-old was charged for what? Stealing a security guard's gun outside of Publix. Say what?
Publix
Yeah.
has armed security?
Well, dude, if you remember, there was a time where Publix used to have like an off-duty. I live in Hillsborough County, so do you. Remember, you used to see a Hillsborough County deputy sheriff in Publix, and it seemed, I don't know when that stopped, but whenever I went to Publix, you used to see a Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office cruiser out front, and these were off duty,
Right.
Doing, private security work. And, most police agencies allow that, whether it's a sheriff's office or a municipal police department, allow for off duty work for their officers to make extra money. And I fully support that. But there was a time when Publix used to have actual law enforcement officers in a lot of the stores. And I was just thinking about this a couple of weeks ago. I was like, when did that stop? Because you don't see them anymore. But I would imagine the case here is this is a private security guard, and Publix must have security guards maybe in some challenging areas.
Okay, I'm trying to think.
High theft or higher crime areas.
I've never seen one at the Publix that I go to, but I
Dude,
guess I have seen them around.
Come on. The Publix that you went to at some point had an off-duty Hillsborough County deputy sheriff.
But the Wackenhut guys, I don't see those guys.
Hey, if anyone's listening, listen, the Publixes that I go to, so the Publix on Kennedy across from West Shore Plaza in South Tampa, I don't see a security guard there. And then the other Publix that I'll hit is the one on Dale Mabry and Neptune. And I don't see a security. But I know that I used to pop into the one on Dale Mabry and Neptune before they built the Publix where the old Sports Authority used to be
Right.
on Kennedy. The one on Neptune, I used to see an off-duty Hillsborough County deputy sheriff there all the time. And I try to figure out, when did that stop? If anyone knows when that stopped, you can fire up the phones. Tell Andrew. He'll pass it along to me. Or maybe if you want, we'll put you on the air. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Back to the story, though. 16-year-old kid has been charged, and he ripped off the gun of a security guard standing outside of a Publix in Clearwater. Yeah, this is last week. And the teen that they got was charged with armed robbery. They hauled him off. They hauled his little juvenile butt off to the Pinellas County Juvenile Assessment Center. And the last I saw, Clearwater PD was still looking for the second suspect. And this happened last week at about 7 p.m. And the two suspects... Oh, did they get the second one?
So this is an update from Channel 10
there we
from
go.
yesterday.
There we go. All right, so they have the second one. Thank you, Fester. All right, so the second one, according to this, is a 14-year-old. So a 14-year-old has now subsequently been arrested after the 16-year-old was arrested. And these little hoodlums, these little jackwagons, they were on bikes, and they grabbed the gun out of the security guard's holster. Did the security guard not have the holster, which, has the kind of the unlock where, the officer can, or someone with the holster knows how to get the gun out immediately, but somebody can't just grab the gun out of the holster?
I mean, they might want to review some security policies.
Exactly. So the security guard was also knocked over Was a security guard 90?
Maybe they tackled the guy. Who knows? The guy's on the ground and they reach for his gun.
The security guard fell, and he was taken to the hospital. Listen, I got to be honest. Doesn't sound like a really robust security guard. First of all, 2 kids can disarm a security guard?
I don't want to fight
They're
two
on
teenagers.
bikes? Come on. Give me a break.
Come on.
All right. Hey, Andrew, they didn't want to go on the air. Andrew, turn your mic on.
Yeah, a listener just told me that Nebraska and Hannah, they have a TPD officer.
So,
It's a store-by-store decision.
It's going to be areas that maybe have, higher crime and, more challenging areas probably still have law enforcement.
And another caller said a Collier in Pasco, they don't remember ever seeing one there. And I don't remember seeing one in mine
either. It sounded like
either.
you said a collier. You mean a caller?
No,
what?
On Collier.
Collier.
On Collier.
Collier Road, Collier Parkway, whatever it is.
In Pasco, that they have law enforcement?
Yeah.
No, they don't. And,
they don't. All right.
The caller said he'd never seen one there before. And
Okay.
Up in Carrollwood, I don't remember seeing one either.
Oh, come on. I used to go to different Publixes, and there was a time you'd always see like an off-duty deputy in there. Anyway.
Okay.
Hey.
Maybe not every location.
All right. Moving on. Next, moron in the news item. I'm sorry if I laughed at this. You know when you're not supposed to laugh at something when, somebody falls down the stairs? You're not supposed to laugh, but
Happens to me all the time.
Exactly. Am I a bad person for laughing at this? There was a golf cart. This is up in New Jersey. And there was a golf cart which was rigged to simulate drunk driving.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And you know what? I've seen this before. I want to say I've heard about this at like high schools for driver's ed. And the car simulates, it rides, it steers a certain way. It's rigged to simulate if you're driving impaired on the car weaving and swerving all over the place. Well, there was a golf cart that was rigged to simulate the dangers of being tipsy, impaired with alcohol while driving. The golf cart went out of control at a New Jersey police fair and ran over 5 people. I'm sorry. Well, I guess it's realistic, right?
I mean, drunk drivers injure a lot of people.
Absolutely. And I've got zero tolerance for drunk driving, folks. But a golf cart that was rigged to simulate a drunk driver goes out of control and mows over 5 people. I mean, luckily, no one was seriously injured, but people were taken to the hospital.
This seems like a terrible idea on every level.
All 5 were taken to the hospital. It turns out a teenager was behind the wheel with a cop riding in the passenger seat of the golf cart. It was last week when the cart swerved off the special orange cone course at the National Night Out event in Wildwood, New Jersey. The vehicle then plowed into, I'm not supposed to laugh at this. The vehicle plowed into 5 people. And then firefighters who were already there as part of the event, they then had to spring into action. But listen, if you want realistic and realism, hey, look, if you're a drunk driver, you can mow over people and send them to the hospital, which this actually did.
Did they have a couple of lawyers there handing out business cards as soon as the people got hit? I mean, I wouldn't really realistic.
Yeah. The golf cart ride was built to imitate what an impaired driver experiences and has been a novelty at this annual event. It's one of those, strengthen the police and community partnership and relationship kind of deal. So they added a little extra dose of realism to this year's event. I wonder if the simulated drunk driving golf cart is going to be back next year.
You know what? Maybe it's time to retire it. I just question how good an idea it is in the first place.
All right, last morons in the news item for right now. I laughed at this as well. Car crash. A car crash in Los Angeles, right? This is Los Angeles, Canoga Park. So you have 2 vehicles that crashed, right? Oh, hang on a minute. I've got 2. I just conflated. I've got 2 stories. This one's not Canoga Park. Second one is. All right. The Canoga Park story is a woman crashed into a taco shop, and it's a week after she vandalized their catering truck. What problem does this woman have with this taco company?
She obviously has.
Oh, my God.
Taco beef.
Taco Reyes is the name of the place. So they've got a storefront and they have a taco truck. First, last week, she vandalizes their taco truck in the parking lot. And then a week later, she smashes into the front of their store. So the woman's been arrested for intentionally crashing a car into a Canoga Park, L.A. area taco shop Friday night. And the previous week, she destroyed their truck. What the hell? What's her beef?
She has some serious issues with this Taco Reyes.
You know what? Instead of saying, what's her beef with this taco company, maybe I should say, what's her carne asada with this taco company, right? Carne asada, right?
So
Yeah.
I'm reading a little bit ahead, which I hate to do, but it says the owners of Taco Reyes told KCAL News that the woman used to work for the store and was a summer employee.
Yeah, my story doesn't have that.
And still has several relatives working at the location. So she may be trying to injure relatives. Who knows?
I don't know. It sounds like she's got a carne asada. She's got a beef with the place because she used to work there. Did they fire her? All right. So the other, the final one here is the vehicle crash. This happened in Idaho, and I just laughed out loud when I read this. 2 trucks collided on an interstate in southern Idaho. One truck was carrying molasses.
Oh, no.
The other truck was carrying animal crap. Manure. Can you imagine a truck wreck where you've got molasses and manure all over the place?
What a mess.
So the manure is all stuck in the molasses?
Yeah, I get it.
Oh, my God. Just think about that. That's a messy freaking cleanup. 6:52 at the MJ Morning Show. A little early dose of morons in the news. Gotta love it. Hey, you know that Crumble cookie?
The store?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm aware of them. I've seen them. I just have never had a Crumble cookie. Crumbl, Crumble cookies. I think there are a bunch of them around the Tampa Bay area.
There's a bunch of them all over.
Yeah.
They're in every state, I think.
Crumble wants you to stop doing this. If you're thinking about it, if you've heard about this, Crumble Cookie says, knock it off. Stop doing this at our Crumble Cookie store. What is it? We'll tell you next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. And also have a warning about some Apple devices. Of course, back to school, a lot of families buying the kids, an iPad or a MacBook or something. Yeah, a little bit of a warning from a woman that purchased an Apple product, not at the Apple store or online from Apple, but bought it at a huge retailer and ran into a problem. And well, she's having trouble getting some satisfaction, which I don't understand this, which we'll get to that in a second. First, the Crumble deal. So, Fester, you looked it up. How many Crumble locations are there now in the Tampa Bay area?
12?
Yeah, this is one of those hot franchise concepts. It's you always have like a either it's a restaurant or some kind of franchise opportunity that becomes like the real hot prospect in the country. And this Crumble Cookies has been smoking hot. I remember we were up in Boston for something. Michelle and I were up in Boston, and we were, I think, going to visit Chloe up at University of New Hampshire.
All right, makes
and
sense.
We were in one of the suburbs just outside of Boston. And I remember we stopped to get some pizza. There were a couple of, well-known Boston pizza spots. And there was like a little town center operation, not unlike Midtown Tampa. And there's a great, what's the name of the pizza? I'll think of it. But there's a well-known Boston pizza place that I like to try to get some pizza from. And they had a little outpost in this little town center. And then right next door, a Crumble Cookies had just opened up. I mean, it was the grand opening. And they were lined up down the sidewalk.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa.
For
I'm like,
cookies.
Yeah, and that's when I was first exposed to Crumble, Crumbl. But here's the deal. Crumble Cookies, and I guess there have been some social media videos that have been made that are floating around in the feeds online, and employees are shooting videos about do not come to the store and do this. Do not call us up and ask for this. So the misnomer or the incorrect information, the legend that's floating around is that at closing time, if you go to Crumble, they'll give you the free cookies because they don't want to carry them over.
No, they don't do that.
But somebody started this, and it is bugging the bejesus out of the Crumble cookie locations around the country.
I wish they did that.
So now, Fester brought up the map. There are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in Pinellas.
Yeah, there's like 7 or a bunch in Hillsborough.
Or maybe 6 in Pinellas, 1 to maybe 5 or so in
Pasco.
Hillsborough. Looks like there's one out in Lakeland as well.
A bunch in Orlando, 1 in Bradenton, 1 in Sarasota.
Now, I've never had a Crumble cookie. I'm aware of them, but I've never had one. But they want you to know, do not show up at closing time and expect to get free cookies. Don't call them and say, hey, Crumble Cookies, you guys are closing in 5 minutes. Is it true I can stop by and get free cookies? No. You can't. So Crumble Cookies wants you to knock it off.
They aren't even discounted? What are you going to do with them? You're just going to throw them
away?
No.
They
give them to the homeless?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a homeless guy and you're eating like a $6 cookie?
Hey, it's like the muffin tops behind the muffin spot in the old Seinfeld episode. Remember that? Remember the stumps?
Yeah.
the bags of stumps thrown out back because they only sold the muffin tops. Yeah. Crumble says that we donate the leftover cookies and do not give them out for free at the end of the night.
What do you donate them to?
All right. Here's the Apple story at 7:05. Welcome, folks. We've got a whole new listening pattern begins again today after school ended at the end of the year. When school ended. When did school end? Was it May?
Ends the last day or so of May.
Yeah. So or near the end of May. So, listening patterns change a lot when school ends. The parents are not in the cars with the kids. So, you just have listening patterns change. So now today we get back to like a full, listening pattern with, the kids back to school in virtually every county in our listening area, if not all. So listening patterns are kind of back to, a big listening pattern at this point. So with the kids going back to school, inevitably you got many parents that are buying the kids, laptops or MacBooks or, a Windows, Surface or, but this is about iPads and this is Apple products. And this woman, we've talked about similar issues happening. So this woman says she bought an iPad at Target and it was a bogus dummy inside that she didn't get an actual iPad. And she's claiming that Target will not make good on it, which I don't get that.
I mean, Target, they took it as a return possibly.
Well, you're barking up the right tree, and this could save you, hundreds and hundreds, and a big frustrating problem. This is a video that's been circulating on social. This Target customer warns that she bought an iPad from Target, got home, and figured out it was a fake. It was not an actual iPad. So I don't know whether it was a dummy display device or whether it was just some generic knockoff. You've seen some of the Chinese knockoffs that are not Apple.
They're all over.
Yeah, there are a ton of knockoffs out there that are just wonky systems that operate on a lot of times it's like a generic an Android freeware, but there's a lot of just counterfeit garbage that's out there. So apparently this woman goes to Target because, Target's an authorized reseller of Apple products, and she buys an iPad. It's got the Apple box, opens the thing up, and it's got some dud of a piece of junk crap inside.
Was it a sealed box? I mean,
listen,
I don't buy anything that has like masking tape on it.
Guess what? Some of the real heavy-duty thieves out there, they have little shrink wrap device. I don't think it's expensive to buy a little shrink wrapper. So you just reseal it. You make it look like it's factory sealed. Meanwhile, you've tampered. You've taken the real iPad out. You put a dummy piece of crap in. This woman says she was the victim of that. Then she goes back to Target to say, hey, I have a non-Apple product in here. I got this dud. She's got thousands of views. Her name is Pat, and she says that her husband bought the iPad at Target. All seemed fine from the outside. The box was legit. It was an Apple box, had an Apple serial number, but she then gets home, and it turns out the thing was a complete dud. It was a fake unit. So there was no serial number actually etched onto the device, and then Target says they can't do anything about it. They won't take it back. She says we lost our money. My first inclination would be, well, did you pay with a credit card?
Yeah, dispute the charge.
Dispute the freaking credit card charge.
Did you use your Target Red card? Huh? They treat those people a little better.
Dude, I don't have a Target Red card. I know whenever I go to Target, and I was just at Target. I was just at Target over the weekend, and they're I don't know, they're trying to push me to sign up for something. I don't. Listen, all I need is a Visa.
Red card's like
and an American Express.
It's like a discount loyalty card. It's not a charge card. Hey, listen, MJ, have I told you about how I was victimized by a great heist?
Well, hold on.
Products?
Hold on one sec. So if you get duped, use your credit card for purchases, because the credit card companies, when you dispute a charge, they typically stand behind you. So I don't know if they paid cash for this thing. But if you use an American Express or a Visa or a MasterCard, the companies, the banks, or whoever's behind, your Visa, Master, they typically stand behind you. I have never had a problem where I've disputed a charge where my dispute was not resolved in my favor. All right, so what was your issue?
So after high school, I took a job in the paint and small appliance department of Montgomery Ward.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And one of the things they had were Hamilton Beach coffee pots.
Right.
And a guy comes up to me, he's like, hey, man, I bought this coffee pot, and he had a receipt.
Right.
And he opened it up, and there were pieces of 2x4 in there. And then I was like, no way. I'm thinking he took it, and then he and I went to the shelf, and thieves bought all of our coffee pots and then returned them in subsequent days and weeks. Maybe I think I took a couple of them in.
Oh, man.
And they adjusted the tape on the bottom.
Oh, wow.
Because that's the tape they cut
So
through.
they took the product and the top looked like it was factory fresh.
Yep.
They cut it out of the bottom and they just put lumber inside to simulate the weight of the coffee pot.
As long as the box is, still sealed on the top.
Yeah, listen, there's this old scam. And I haven't seen it in years, but I saw it back in the 90s when I used to work in New York City back in 91, 92, before I came to Florida. I was working for WPLJ in New York, and that was an old scam. They used to have these scam guys that would stand at like the Lincoln Tunnel or the Holland Tunnel over on the west side, the tunnel that goes from Manhattan over to Jersey, and they would have like Sony camcorder boxes, and it would be like a real Sony box. And the whole pitch would be, hey, man, Sony camcorder, this is the latest model. This is the, the SL22, the hottest Sony camcorder. And it's like, listen, I got to move this thing. It's like a $900, $1,000 camera, $1,200 camera, back then. And they're like, all right, I'll take $200 for it. All right, it's fell off the truck. This is
yeah,
and
just gotta move it.
They would sell the box, and it had weight to it. And then the person, because you're in traffic and you're moving, it's a quick transaction. They give you this brand new looking Sony camcorder box, and they grab the $200 or whatever it was, and then the person gets home, opens up the box. It's got a couple of bricks inside.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, and it was just the box, and it's a big old racket. So, man, there's a new scam invented every single day. But the whole return thing, that still goes on.
Yeah.
Where people return products, but you're supposed to check. You know, when I've returned something to a customer service desk, they typically open it up and look. Yeah, that probably has become more prevalent. You know, after, like, why wouldn't you idiots at Montgomery Ward check to see if the coffee maker that was being returned was actually in the box?
Because I made $4.10 an hour. I don't care. It's Montgomery Ward.
That's why they're out of business.
I put them out of business.
That's why they're broke.
All because of me.
Fester put Montgomery Ward out of business.
So anyway, it's been going on for a long time.
Right. Hey, I want to welcome Fred. Fred Craig. Fred, one of our advertisers here on the MJ Morning Show from Profusion. You guys are great metal craftsmen. You've done work at my house.
Yes, sir.
You're an advertiser on the program, and I just wanted to welcome you.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, he's dropping by. Got a little job for Fred.
What are you dropping off some shards of metal or something?
No. I got a new Sony TV, and the stand, the metal brackets that attach to the TV, it goes on top of a stone fireplace mantle, and the brackets, the feet for the TV, are like 2 inches too wide.
Oh.
So Fred, I'm going to give him the most challenging work that he's ever had.
Gonna work some magic with a cutoff wheel.
Trim it up.
Yep. Chop, cut, rebuild.
Yeah.
But you guys do everything. You guys do all kinds of metal work, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We fabricate anything from steel to stainless to aluminum, design and develop staircases, railings.
Yeah. So, I mean, any builder or contractor, I'm telling you, your work is phenomenal.
Thank you.
Your metal artwork, it's museum quality stuff.
We appreciate that. We have a small team, but I tell you what, we all love what we do.
Yep.
And quality is pretty much our steadfast go-to every time we build a project. We look, to make exceed the expectations from customers like MJ when you go to his house and you see a gate that's not working anymore and we got to cut a lockbox off.
Yeah.
I want you to know, Fred, I'm currently in the market for a chain link fence. I'm thinking like I've been looking at it.
You might want to go to Lowe's for that.
Yeah.
3.5 feet, 3.5 feet, maybe like the green one. I'm currently looking for the perimeter.
Two things here.
You got that stupid dog, and the dog runs off. I gotta get a fence now.
If you're a builder or contractor and you need unbelievable metal work, stairways, gates, it's Profusion in Largo, profusionusa.com. And also, you've got some openings for some metal craftsmen.
Absolutely.
So this is like a job fair right now.
Yeah.
If you know a great metal craftsman, or if you are one, go to profusionusa.com, and you've got a couple of great job openings.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're looking for a seasoned fabricator with good skills in TIG welding, fabrication skills, eye for detail, quality-minded individual looking for a good family-related type business.
So I'm out.
Yeah.
No eye for detail at all.
Yeah.
No.
Fred, great to have you in, man.
Thank you for having me.
brother. I appreciate it, man.
I appreciate
Got
it. All right, 7:16 at the MJ Morning Show. You know what hasn't changed? An hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next. 1 hour, 20 minutes. And we never stop at 120. We always give you overtime. We always give you an hour and 22, hour and 24, hour and 25. You'll get bonus, and it all starts next here on the MJ Morning Show. The chief of police. All right, here we go. We're starting an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ Morning Show right now. I'm looking at my pile. It is a tremendous pile today, including the lip sync little 10-second video that I shot yesterday morning that people seem to be loving. All kinds of likes. People are responding with comments. Oh, this made me laugh. Oh, this put a smile on my face. I did something like completely different on my Instagram. Put up a little video yesterday. And Fessa, you haven't seen this yet.
I have not.
All right.
So you've done something funny is what you're saying.
I'll discuss it. I do plenty of funny stuff.
Well, completely different.
I did something completely different, and I'll tell you about it in a moment. First, though, I want to talk to the chief of police for the city of Tampa. Let's welcome back to the MJ Morning Show, Chief Lee Burkaw. Chief, welcome back to the MJ Morning Show.
Hey, MJ. Thanks for having me on.
My pleasure. So, first day of school today, you wanted to discuss a couple of safety issues and just deliver, I think, a very important message as all the kids are back to school today in almost all of the counties that are in, I think maybe even every county in our listening area, whether it's Hillsborough, whether it's Pinellas, Polk, Pasco, Hernando, Sarasota, Bradenton, Manatee, all the counties are pretty much back. So, Chief, I know you had a couple of things that you wanted to mention to our listeners.
Yeah, most important is traffic safety. We've gotten out of the habit of watching for kids throughout the summer, and today's the first day back, and we have all the Tampa police officers out there, and we just want everybody to pay extra special attention, have their head up, not down in their phone, look at the active school zones. You mentioned it before about the bus cameras. Those are active. I did speak with the school security, and that's out there. You could get a $225 ticket if you pass a bus with the stop sign.
You know, Chief, who does that? Who is the driver that sees a yellow school bus with the flashing red lights, the stop bar and sign extends from the side of the bus, and they decide to deliberately go around? I don't understand the psyche, the mindset of anyone that would do that and potentially put a child's safety and life at risk. Do you have any indication of the percentage of drivers that willfully blow through the flashing red lights versus those that are just oblivious and they're just bad drivers?
Well, I would think the majority don't willfully do it. They may be looking at their phone, looking down, and not realizing what they're doing. And that's what we're asking everybody to do, is put the phone down, pay attention. Kids are walking to school buses are out. And if you didn't notice, the city also did sign a contract, and we're in the process of installing cameras for school zones. So if you drive through a flashing school zone and you're speeding over 10 miles an hour, you could also get a ticket in the mail. And that's only for the safety of our children going to school. So we just need everybody's head up, paying attention.
Yeah.
What about the panic button? I was kind of intrigued by this, any red button that you can push. But I understand that the Hillsborough County school buses, that the drivers have like a red button that then sends a message to a monitor at the school district, and it timestamps a violator?
Yes, and, school teachers even have that button on their ID cards as well. And all that comes to us if that emergency dictates it. And even students have an app. It's something that we talk about is see something, say something,
Yeah.
so the police can do something. And you could tell a teacher, you could tell an administrator, or you can use an app to send a message. The most important thing is everybody needs to be out there paying attention and being alert, whether you're driving or whether it's for safety.
Don't be oblivious, especially this is Monday, August 12th, the first day of school. Hillsborough County, I think I read, has 1,000 school buses on the road. That is an enormous amount of school buses.
It is. And now imagine 1,000 cameras on those buses making sure that everybody's paying attention.
And 1,000
The
red
last thing
buttons.
we want to do is give tickets. We want our kids to be safe.
Yep, 100%. Chief, anything else?
No, I appreciate you putting the message out, and everybody can just be safe out there. We'll have all the police officers out there all week at every school. So if you see something, say something, and drive safely.
Awesome. Folks, Chief Lee Burkhaw, Chief of Police, City of Tampa. Chief, great to have you on again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
I love the red button.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. The red button. Yeah. If the driver has someone blow by the bus, they just and I think I have the sound the button makes. Yeah. So if the button is pushed, this is what it sounds like.
MJ, right now, 7:30. This is prime drop-off
it
time.
is. Right now, 7:30, 100%. Listen, your wife is dropping off your kidlets right now.
She just dropped my son off at his school,
Right.
Hudson. He's in second grade.
Is Hadley in the car right now?
Hadley's in the car right now.
Let me call Allison.
Yeah, call her up.
Let's see if Hadley has a morning back-to-school joke for us.
I don't know, man. Her jokes have been really salty lately. I had to tell her, listen, that's not appropriate for other people, honey. You can't tell that joke out loud. But she's on her way to her class. Oh, she's in what? I forget what grade she's in.
Get out of here, really?
I don't even remember.
Hold on. You're kidding me.
It's 6, 7, or 8. It's middle school. Ask her.
Hold on. You don't know what grade your daughter starts today?
6, 7, or 8.
Hello?
Allison.
Yes.
Folks, ladies and gentlemen, Allison Siciliano, Fester's lovely wife. And you just dropped off your son, correct?
I just dropped off Hudson. He went through Carline, and now we're taking Hadley to school.
And Hudson is second grade?
He's in second grade. He's 7 years old.
Look, I know what grade Fester's kids are in, and Fester has no idea.
I knew what grade Hudson was in. I just don't know what grade Hadley's in.
She's in 7.
She's in 7th. Okay. I said 6, 7, or 8 because it's middle school year.
Well, you got the ballpark, apparently.
Okay.
Wait, so did you say that Hadley is still in the car?
Yes, she is. You want to talk to her?
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome. Here she is.
Yep.
Hello, Mr. MJ.
Hello, Miss Hadley. So are you excited about 7th grade?
Yes, very much. I am very excited for 7th grade.
You're not going to talk too much in class, right?
Make no promises.
It's gonna be a rough year.
Yeah, I like 7th grade. I had a good 7th grade, teacher lineup.
This is a fun time, Hadley.
Yeah, this is fantastic. All right, listen, do me a favor. Pay attention. Do well. I'll tell you what. If you get all A's, Uncle MJ has a bonus for you, okay?
What's the bonus?
Well, let me think about that, okay?
Yeah.
You know, we'll come up with something nice, okay?
How about if we get like all C pluses?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's more C pluses.
Yeah. What if we get like B minuses? How about that?
All right, Hadley, on the first day of school, Hadley, do you have a drop off at school joke for us?
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
Oh,
This is terrible.
You don't have a joke? I thought you always had a joke on the tip of your tongue.
I don't have a joke on the tip of my tongue.
All right. Well, listen, I'll let you slide. Have a great day at school, okay?
Knock, knock.
Well,
Oh, hold on a minute.
Okay.
Hold on. Are you trying to call off this knock knock joke, Fester?
No, I
Orange.
Oh, hold on. All right. So hold on. You want to do knock knock?
okay. Well,
All right. Go.
Yes,
All right.
I
Go.
do.
All right. Go ahead.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Orange.
I know this one. Orange.
Orange, glad I had a joke.
all right.
Oh, that's a little
It's
variation.
terrible.
Yeah.
Hadley, don't you remember the midget Indian joke that we went over?
What
Oh, yeah, the Midget Indian joke.
Hadley, what do you call a midget Indian?
What do you call a midget Indian? That's really funny. Mini haha.
See? Offensive and culturally
great.
appropriate.
You're dragging your little 7th grader into inappropriate jokes. All right. Thank you, Hadley. Have a great day at school.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I have a variation on that joke about a gay midget Indian, which
All
I
right.
really can't say on the
Yeah,
radio.
all right. Stop.
It's mini hey.
All right. But
All right. Have a great day at school, kids. Everybody have a great school year. I'm excited for all the kids out there.
should we call Roxanne?
You know what? Listen, MJ, this is a big day for her. I'm happy that her 2 girls are starting school today, and I'm glad that she's with them.
Yeah, Roxanne took the day off to take her kids to school. I mean, that's what she has a stay-at-home Mr. Mom husband for.
You know, I'll
don't
start
know.
school today. My other 2 favorite guys, Max and Luke, Froggy's kids. Froggy's
yeah.
probably driving him to school today.
Oh, yeah.
So listen, I hope those
Yeah.
guys, if you're listening, I hope you guys have a great school year. We love you, Max and Luke.
Hang on a minute. Wait. All right, calling up Roxanne, because Roxanne, it's almost like she's kind of begging us to call her because she sent me an email last night. You can call me as many times as you want. Watch, she won't even pick up the phone.
You know how Roxanne is like abundantly friendly sometimes. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. Call me as many times as you want. I don't think she literally
Right.
means
Call
that.
has been forwarded to
See?
voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available.
It was literally, I have an email from Roxanne, call me as many times as you want during the morning show, and it goes right to voicemail. All right, hang on. The rule of 2s. Yeah, if somebody doesn't pick up the cell phone the first time around, just, you dial back. All right, hang on a minute. 7-2. All right, hang on a minute. Calling Roxanne one more time.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message.
All right, and now it goes right to voicemail.
Call me as many times as you want. I won't answer.
Hang on, the hotline just rang.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's Roxanne on the hotline. Yes, Roxanne.
Good morning, sunshine. What's
Oh,
happening?
well, I got the email from you, almost like begging us to call you. You said in the email, call you as many times as we'd like.
I'm a woman on the street. I'm a reporter getting the vibe of the back to school, the grind and seeing what parents are feeling like. And a lot of moms out there, myself included, in our leggings. We're doing it. We're back at it.
Hold on, wait a minute. You're doing it in your leggings? Is that like a Doug fantasy? What is it? What?
She meant doing it, bringing the kids to school, not doing it.
I didn't know. I
Yeah.
thought maybe she had those like Flashdance 1980s leggings on or something, and
Yeah.
So, Roxanne,
I kinda feel like that. Yeah.
are you on your way to Carline right now?
No, we dropped off one, and then we have another one to take, and everything is going smoothly. I mean, I feel like the kids were really happy to wake up and have me and then I can kind of tell Doug what to do, because every year it's like layers upon layers of more things to do.
Did you tell the kids that on this day, on this Monday, August the 12th, that you, Mommy Roxanne, told the MJ Morning Show and the listeners to screw off, that you're not showing up at work, you're taking the kids to school?
Yeah.
Yes, and it means a lot to them. It's very emotional, and it means a lot to me, too. So thank you guys for holding.
Hold on. Did you cry when you dropped off Kid 1?
Kid 1 is going into second grade, and I had tears in my eyes because it's just a big moment. And I remember my second grade year is like, it's important. Life is getting going. And then the other one, we're really going to cry because this is her last year of VPK of preschool.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever cried, but listen.
What about Michelle? Did Michelle ever get teary-eyed as he's dropping off Chloe for the first day of school?
I don't know. I don't remember Michelle crying at all. But all right, so your older daughter is second grade now?
Yeah, isn't that nuts?
That's insane. All right, are you gonna show up tomorrow, or are you gonna say it's the second day of school, I'm gonna take the day off again?
It's moment to moment. We'll see how I feel.
Hey, did you load your kids up with like a sugary breakfast cereal this morning?
No, I made him oatmeal. That was another reason I wanted to stay home, because Daddy can't make oatmeal like Mom.
Hold on, what the hell is oatmeal?
Oh my God.
It's a cutesy baby way of saying oatmeal instead of, and it's special because it has all kinds of food.
So you teach your kids how to mispronounce words and continue baby talk well into the years that they should?
Yeah, she's going to be getting her PhD talking about oatmeal. Yeah,
Roxanne, I was thinking oatmeal is like chopped up wood pieces, like oak. I'm like, oh my God, this sounds so bad.
Sawdust.
This is regular Quaker's oatmeal.
Sawdust.
No. Yeah, just cutting up oak bark. It's very good for your muscles.
Hey, you know what? I've got a great segue here. Can you hang on the phone for a second?
Yes.
I've got a great segue here, and I found over the weekend the top 5 healthiest cereals for kids. But of course, I got to go the other way. So first, I researched the 5 unhealthiest cereals for kids. Do you know which cereals are the most unhealthy, and meaning the most amount of sugar? There's a 4-way tie. For 4th place, it's a 4-way tie, but the list then had like 8, 7, or 7, 6, 5, and then 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so this is tied for 4th place. It's a 3-way tie.
Oh man, I bet you I have every one of these at the house.
I bet you do.
Okay, I don't want to steal your answers, Fester, but Fruit Loops and Lucky Charms.
Oh man! All right, hey, guess what?
Lucky Charms.
You know what? Fruit Loops is not on the list, believe it or not.
Because that's real fruit.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. Follow your nose. It always knows. All right. So for a 3-way tie at 4th place, so it's 654 is what it is. These are the list of the most sugar-filled, unhealthy cereals. Folks, you feed your kids a couple of bowls of this before school, they're going to get to class, they're going to be vibrating like a paint shaker at the Sherwin-Williams store. All right, so here's the 4-way or 3-way tie for 4th place.
Right.
Cookie Crisp. What could possibly go wrong there? You have breakfast cereal that imitates little chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nothing could go wrong there.
All right. Then the next one is Cocoa Puffs.
You know what? It makes the bowl chocolate milk.
Yep.
Yes,
Number 4.
Bleeding.
Number 4 is Fruity Pebbles. All right.
Fruity Pebbles is a staple in the house.
Yeah, and that'll change your milk a completely different color too.
Yeah.
Dude, you ever want to step your Rice Krispie game up? And this is fact.
No.
Forget regular Rice Krispies. Sub Fruity Pebbles. Mind blown.
Oh, you mean for like the Rice Krispie treats with the marshmallow
Those
stuff?
Rice Krispie bars. Take out the Rice Krispies. Put in the Fruity Pebbles.
So Cookie Crisp, Cocoa Puffs, and Fruity Pebbles, 3-way tied 4th place. The number 3 most loaded up cereal with sugar, Frosted Flakes. They're great. They're great.
They're full of sugar.
Yeah. All right, so that's number 3. Number 2, Roxanne, you already said this one.
Lucky Charms.
Yep, number 2, most sugar in your kids' cereal, Lucky Charms. And number 1, hi, I'm Casey Kasem, and now we're up to the number one breakfast cereal in the USA with the most sugar. These are going to turn your kids into a bunch of what is it? What?
I don't know.
ADHD.
So, MJ, I think I know number one.
All right.
I think it's my favorite of all the cereals.
All right. What is your favorite cereal? Let's see if it is number one.
Is it Captain Crunch?
Survey says Captain Crunch. First of all, stop it. It is not Captain Crunch. It's Cap'n.
Captain Crunch.
It's exactly. It's CAP apostrophe N. It's Cap'n. Cap'n Crunch. Not Captain Crunch. It's Cap'n Crunch. All right?
Captain Crunch. Guys, guess what? I have a box of that in my pantry right now because I pilfered an Airbnb.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I thought you were. Listen. I thought you were about to say you had a box of that in your panties.
I'm so glad you enunciated pantry.
I thought. I'm like, what? What? I thought you were going to say panties.
You couldn't wait for the second syllable. Treat.
All right.
Treat.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to load Daviana up with those. She's a little low energy this morning.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. And then, of course, Captain Crunch also gives you the roof rip, where it rips up the skin on the roof of your mouth.
Right. But real cereal pros know you got to give it the 30-second soak.
And then that softens it up. But then you lose the crunch.
Not as much as you
think.
So
you get a little more. You get a little bit of crunch, but it doesn't rip up you. Listen, when you eat Captain Crunch immediately, it's almost like you took some sandpaper and just ran it on the roof of your mouth. Yeah. All right, Roxanne, get going. We'll see you back here tomorrow, okay?
Okay, sounds good. Call me as many times as the day goes on as you want to. I'm right here.
Okay, all right.
Thank you,
right.
Rox.
Thanks, Roxanne.
Did you know Captain Crunch's real name is Horatio Magellan Crunch?
Well, I don't think she cared. She just hung up on you.
I was telling you.
I was telling me.
I know she doesn't care. That's an odd tidbit that you'll use again. Do you have the list of the healthiest?
I do.
I actually care about that.
There's no humor in that.
I just want to hear what it is.
I'm skipping it.
Just read it quickly.
All right, fine. All right, so here we go. The top 5 healthiest breakfast cereals are as follows. Let me get to number 5.
Is Cinnamon Toast Crunch at least on the healthy side?
No. Number 5 is Nature's Path Heritage Flakes. That sounds like it tastes like bark. You know?
Sounds like Roxanne's oatmeal.
You know what? Cinnamon Toast Crunch is on the list.
Shut up.
Yes.
Really?
Number 4 is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Do they still do the jingle? I remember Saturday morning cartoons used to have all the breakfast cereal commercials.
I haven't seen a Cinnamon Toast Crunch commercial in a while.
See,
but
back when I was a kid, they had sugar in the name of the breakfast cereals.
Yeah.
It used to be like Super Sugar Crisp.
Sugar Smacks.
Sugar Smacks. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Back when I was a kid, they were advertising. It was like that was like a badge of honor if you had the most sugar in your cereal, to the point where like Post and Kellogg, they had sugar in the name of the breakfast cereal. Of course, those were the days where the kids rode around with no seatbelts on and in the front seat, leaning on the front dashboard with their elbows, with their faces pressed against the window. I did that for years.
Amazingly, most of them survived.
Yeah.
So really, Cinnamon Toast Crunch is on the health list?
Believe it or not, it's on the healthy cereal list.
How is that even possible?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch, number 4. Number 3 is Kix. Kix.
Oh, have you had Kix lately?
No, I haven't had those are the little balls.
Yeah, it is like styrofoam balls.
Yeah, they're like little raccoon balls.
Dude,
you know?
We bought a box of Kix. They were so bad, my son refused to eat them. We took it out to feed seagulls, and the seagulls refused to eat them. It's that bad.
Because to me, Kix, if my memory serves me correct, packing peanuts have more flavor than Kix.
So bad. So bad. I don't even know why they make them.
That's why it's on the healthy cereal list. Because there's no freaking sugar in the thing. Then number 2 is Puffins.
Okay.
You ever have Puffins?
It was just puffed rice?
Yeah, and then number 1 is Cheerios. Yeah, the regular Cheerios, not the honey nut. Yeah, the honey nut, that's a code for sugar. So there you go.
Cheerios has 100 different flavors now.
All right, 7:46 at the MJ Morning Show. I teased an item over the weekend that I was going to talk about at 7:45. So this has happened to me incessantly recently. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what the explanation is, what the physics are, if it just seems this way. But this just seems to happen to me over and over again. It happened to me last on Friday, and another aspect of this element happened to me last week about midweek. The thing that happened on Friday, I was looking for a particular story to do on the show. There were two stories that kind of were related that I wanted to do on Friday's show, and I couldn't find them. And I knew they were in my bag. What happened was, on the way to work, a car pulled out in front of me on 4th Street.
Okay.
And I had to slam on the brakes. I'm doing 50 miles an hour on 4th Street in it's a 55 zone. So I might have been doing 55. And a car pulls out from a side street in front. So I have to slam on the brakes. This is, 5:20 in the morning. And my bag, my little carry satchel with all the show prep in it, it flies off the back seat into the the floor well, the floor of the
floorboard,
the rear passenger area of the SUV. So, and the bag dumps all the contents, everything gets mixed up. So, and my bag, I usually have like a week plus of old show prep. So stuff that I didn't get to, it just remains in my bag, and I kind of have it, organized that one pile goes horizontal, the next pile goes vertical, then horizontal, and that kind of keeps track of my days. The whole thing flew off the seat, and it flew all over. So I had to pile it back in the bag once I got to the parking lot, and everything got mixed up. I was able to, find the chunk of Friday prep that I used last Friday, all my notes and all the stuff I printed out, but everything else was all jumbled up. And I was looking for these two stories that I wanted to do on Friday's show, and I couldn't find them. And I don't have a lot of time, and it probably was like a stack of about 8-9 inches of all this paper in there. And I got home on Friday, and wouldn't you know, the two items I was looking for was the absolute bottom of the stack. The 8-9 inches of paper that got tossed, the final two stories were the ones I was looking for. Why is that?
That's how it goes.
I mean, but what causes that? What are the physics behind that? What is the universe trying to tell us? And another thing, I was working on something, and I dropped a little part on the floor in my house.
Okay.
Why is it when you drop something or something falls, why is it that it always seems to go to the most ridiculous, most difficult, impossible location, the place where you didn't look, the place where it was difficult to find? Why is that? Why were my two stories at the absolute bottom of hundreds and hundreds of sheets of paper, like two reams? Why would you drop a part? Why is it always goes to the most, for instance, I wear my hard contact lenses, and one kind of sprung out of my eye in the bathroom. Couldn't find it. Where did it go? So this is about 3 months ago, and I lost my left rigid gas permeable hard contact lens. Never found, and it's got a blue tint to it as well. Where the hell does this stuff go? If anyone listening, does this happen to you, or is this the universe punishing me?
Do you want me to try to call up Neil Tyson DeGrassi or something? He could try to explain the universe to you and why this happens to you in particular.
Folks, anybody listening to the program right now that can sympathize, does this happen to you? The last place you look is where something is, or the bottom of the pile. Or you drop something, and it goes to the most impossible place possible. What is the explanation for this? If you would like to weigh in, clearly I'm having a mental breakdown here. All right, 800-990-1047, 800-990-1047. If you've got a similar story, or if we have any scientist geniuses that are listening.
I doubt that. No offense, people, but I don't think you're scientists.
800-990-1047. So what has happened to you as I've just described my situations? Have you had anything similar occur where it's the last place you look or you find something like days or weeks later in like an impossible place? What the heck? Or do you have another example similar to what I'm describing?
I mean, everything is lost until it's found.
I get that.
So I mean.
But you drop something. Why isn't it like in the 2-foot radius? Why did something end up 12 and a half feet in the corner under the baseboard all the way across the room? That's what. All right. I'll grab a couple of calls here. Then I'll play the audio from the little lip sync video that I did yesterday on my Instagram. People seem to love this. It's almost like they're begging for more. All right, so I'll explain that in just a matter of moments here. Oh, and I have another lawn care observation. You know what? I want some of these lawn care companies just to be honest. And I'm going to explain. My lawn care observational dilemma continues, and I'll explain that in just a matter of minutes. All right, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Just got to grab a couple of calls on this, not many. Debbie in Sarasota. Hi, Debbie. You're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Good morning.
Hi, Debbie. Can you sympathize with what I'm talking about?
Well, my thought is, why would you continue looking? Of course it's going to be in the last place you look.
I get it. Well, I understand that rationale, but why is it that you drop something and it's never easy?
I have no idea.
I mean, it's the ricochet pattern, MJ. Once it hits the hard floor, you have no control over what surface or angle it's going to take.
It's doing all bing, 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 ricochet rabbit all over the place. All right, Debbie, thanks for the insight. Sam and Brandon. Hello, Brandon. Sam, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hey, MJ, how you doing?
It's a Samantha. Hi, Samantha.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to get, hey, MJ, it's Sam. All right, go ahead, Sam.
No, I was just saying the first statement is that you made that everything is the last place you look.
Yep.
Of course it's going to be.
I realize that, but why the two stories that I was trying to find in my pile that got all messed up when my bag flew off the seat on Friday, the two stories that I want, I had hundreds of sheets of paper that got all messed up, and the two stories that I wanted for Friday's show when I got home were on the very bottom, the last two stories. Why?
That's going to be the case.
Why?
Well, just like the other day, I walked around the house and I was getting really frustrated, and I was talking to my daughter on the phone, and I was looking everywhere, and she's like, "You sound really frustrated. What's wrong with you?" And I said, "I cannot find my phone anywhere." And she said, "Mom, you're talking to me on your phone."
Yeah, it's the other thing. You lose something and it's like so ultra obvious.
Right. So it just happens. It's called aging.
No, this happened to me when I was in my 20s, my 30s. Yeah, it just always seems to happen.
You need to see a doctor then.
Yeah, maybe MJ has some kind of early onset.
I need a checkup from the neck up. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Let me grab one more on this. Barbara's in Tampa. Barbara, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Good morning.
Yes, Barbara, go ahead.
I had a credit card and I dropped it in the car. I couldn't find it anywhere. I looked under the seats, pulled everything out. Everything. I had to cancel it because I couldn't find it. I went to get a new car, was cleaning out my Jeep, and somehow it was up underneath the seat. It was caught up in the top of the seat.
It was caught in the
like the headrest?
No, in the bottom of the seat, but somehow, like in the wires or something, it got caught up.
Oh, wow.
Where you couldn't see it or feel it.
Yeah, it's like you drop something and it seems to like defy physics and go to the most ridiculous, hard to, get to spot. So you say you drive a Jeep, Barbara?
Well, I did then.
Did you have all the rubber ducks all over the front dashboard?
No.
All right. I was just checking. Thanks, Barbara. Have a great day. No, because I've seen people, and recently I've seen people with, it has to be hundreds of ducks.
It seems like lately, the last 6 months, the duck population on these Jeepers have just gotten crazy.
So for whatever reason, I don't know where the hell this started, but the big thing with Jeep owners is to have all these little rubber ducks all over the dashboard. And I've seen some Jeeps recently where I don't know if the people could actually see out of the windshield. That's how many freaking rubber ducks they have on their dashboard.
I mean, it's not a big windshield on those Jeeps in the first place.
Hey, I had a decision this morning, and I'm not going to give you the answer right off the bat on what I did, but I had a decision to make this morning. And in fact, I want to warn my wife. It's let's see, it's 3 houses down. Did I make a mistake this morning? So I'm driving out of the neighborhood. It's 5:15 this morning. I'm driving out of the neighborhood, and I'm about 3 houses down. And we had a couple of good downpours yesterday. So there are some spots on my street where it doesn't drain well, and you get some big puddles that just hang, and they're mosquito breeding grounds. So there's this big puddle about 3 houses down from me as I'm getting out of my neighborhood this morning, and I look down at the edge of the puddle. You know what was there?
What?
Bufo! 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 Bufo!
You gotta.
Yeah.
You gotta kill it, right?
Well, that's for those that didn't understand. Hopefully you understood what I was doing there. I was saying, Bufo! 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 Yeah.
If you want the people to understand, don't say it in your siren voice.
Just Bufo? Oh, Bufo.
Bufo.
Yeah. So it was a big Bufo toad. It wasn't like the size of a catcher's mitt, but it was a big Bufo toad. Right at the edge, almost like it was like at a water park. So there was there's a whole puddle in the road, and right on the edge was this Bufo. And I'm like
it was in the lazy river at the water park or something?
Yeah, just freeloading, just like Fester.
That's right.
So it crossed my mind. It's like, man, what do I roll the car backwards and then run over the damn thing and squash it in the street?
Would it have not jumped?
Well, or do I run out and try to grab it and then throw it off the side of the Howard Franklin Bridge?
What, and then get covered in toad pee? No.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Yeah, you don't want to pick up a toad.
Yeah, I know. They pee on you every single time. No, but Bufos are dangerous. And Bufos will kill your dog or your cat. I mean, you talk to any veterinarian, and Bufos are a big, big problem. They're an invasive species. I think they were originally brought in to control pests in the sugarcane fields in South Florida, and it just got out of hand. And Bufos they secrete a deadly poison from these glands, I think, behind their eyes, and they will kill a dog. Remember, I told the story how Gatsby got a hold of one in our backyard, and Gatsby's a 17, 18-pound Jack Russell Terrier, and we immediately grabbed the garden hose. He was all foaming and everything, and I flushed his mouth out. I mean, he didn't like it, but too bad. And I'm flushing his face out with water for 10 minutes. And, he bounced back just fine. A couple hours later, he seemed to be fine. But, that's a scare because those Bufos can, obviously kill your pet. And, oh, that's terrible. You're going to run over the Bufo with your car. Well, guess what? I'd rather have a squash, flattened pancake Bufo in the street than it to kill my dog or to kill somebody else's dog. But again, I was on the way to the office and on the way to the studio this morning. So did I make a mistake? When I see a Bufo, I generally capture it. And
what, do you carry a 5-gallon Home Depot bucket with you?
Well,
slam it on top?
No, well, in the yard, we haven't had one in our yard in a while. But, this was 3 houses down in the street, so I don't know if it's going to make it to my yard. But I feel a little guilty that I didn't scoop this thing up, but I had nothing to put it in. But at the house, I grabbed a kitchen garbage bag. I put the Bufo in there, and there's a whole There's a whole thing online. What should you do with a bufo? Some are like, oh, take it to the vet and have it euthanized. Get out of here. What? The vet can charge you, what, $800? Some people say you put it in the freezer and you freeze it.
Yeah, you slowly let it freeze itself and die.
Yeah, listen, I got to be honest. I don't with the bufo toad, I don't care. It can kill somebody's animal. You just got to eradicate these things. And I know, I don't want to kill this poor helpless toad. It's not a poor helpless toad. Just think about your little, your dog, Mr. Peepers, getting poisoned by this damn thing.
Does a bufo toad have any positive impact on the environment?
No, well, they do eat, bugs and insects.
Well, a lot of animals eat bugs and insects.
But again, they were brought in to, I believe, control the pests in the sugarcane fields. I think they're brought in from like South America or something.
They're not native to this area.
No, they're not native. They're an invasive species, the bufo toad. So did I make the right decision this morning by I probably should have just backed the car up and ran the damn thing over and pancaked it is what I probably should have done. But, I didn't. Let's talk about my little lip sync. Go to my Instagram, Fester. God, people love this thing. I mean, the comments are great. It's like, oh, my God, this put a smile on my face. Oh, I love this. This is great. And so go to my Instagram. If you haven't seen this, I'll tell you the story what happened. I'm doing my 5-mile walk yesterday morning, and I vary. I'll listen to radio. I'll listen to a couple of podcasts that some content that I like.
Big Joe Rogan fan, are you?
No, I'm not a Rogan fan. I think that guy's dumb as a box of rocks.
All right, just put it out there.
A lot of money, but dumb as a box of rocks. All right, so also we have Spotify.
Okay.
So Julian we have a family Spotify account, and with Spotify, if you search for a song or you're playing a song, and let's say I have a list, I've got 2,000 songs saved on my Spotify list, all over the road genre wise, and every once in a while when I'm walking, I'll just think of a song that I haven't heard in a long time, and then you search for the song, it comes up on Spotify, and you play the song, and then if you hit the advance arrow, it starts randomly bringing up other songs that are somewhat close to that genre. So if you search for one and then you keep fast forwarding, it takes you down this randomized rabbit hole.
Sure, yeah.
And it's kind of interesting because you don't know what the hell is going to pop up.
My Alexa's like that.
Right.
You request a song and it plays things in that genre.
And then on the Spotify, you can go ahead and you can click the plus sign to add it to your like list, to your favorite list. So I was playing a song yesterday, and then I hit the advance button a couple of times, and this song comes up, and I'm like, oh my God, I remember that song when I was a kid. So I hit the advance button, and this comes up.
Sunday morning, up with the lark. I think I'll take a walk in the park. Hey, 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 it's a beautiful day.
All right, so that comes up. I'm like, well, look, it's Sunday morning. I'm walking on Sunday morning, and this song called Beautiful Sunday by some dude named Daniel Boone from 1972, and I remembered I still love that song. I can't tell you the last time I heard that song, but I was a little kid.
Is this guy a one-hit wonder?
Yeah, that was a one-hit wonder.
I've never heard of Daniel Boone.
I think it was a Scottish guy or something. So it was a one-hit wonder, but the song was a major hit when I was a kid growing up, and I used to listen to WABC, a radio station out of New York City. Tons of people in radio kind of got bitten by the radio bug by listening to that particular radio station. WABC. And they had a ton of reverb on the station. It was like, hey, I got to put some reverb on the jingle as well, I think. Here, hang on a minute. How do I do that? I don't know how to do it.
Well, talk up the song in WABC style.
So, I'm this little kid. That song was 1972. I was 6 freaking years old. And I remember, seriously, I remember the DJs on WABC with all the reverb, and it all came back to me. So I'm doing my walk yesterday. This little rabbit hole on Spotify plays this song. I'm like, oh, my God. And it just kind of dawned on me, man, I got to shoot a quick little video and just lip sync the beginning of the song and kind of walk all goofy. So I get home, and then Chloe records me on her phone because I needed to play the song in my earphones, in my earbuds, in order to be able to hear it, to lip sync it. And then we added the song later, and this little 10-second clip, it's got like 10,000 views in less than 24 hours on my Instagram. And people just seem to love this thing. They're like, MJ, more of that. Read the comments.
Is the estate of Daniel Boone going to get a check for like 35 cents because of you?
Anyway, if it's just goofy and I'm exaggerated and I'm bebopping, So the video is on my Instagram. It's the last thing posted. Certified MJ Radio. That's Certified MJ Radio. If you want to take a look at this thing. And, the lip sync is pretty good.
The amount of people mistaking your weighted vest for body armor is also pretty hysterical.
And I've been through this before. I'm not wearing a bulletproof vest. People are like, MJ, are you afraid of getting shot?
One person's like, tell me you live in the U.S. without telling me.
And that's another thing. Go look at the video. It's on my Instagram. Go to my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio, and give me a follow. If you don't follow me, give me a follow. I think you'll like my content. And take a look at this. Certified MJ Radio. But, you want me to do like what it sounded like when I was a kid?
Yeah. Talk it up WABC style.
All right. Give it a shot. I got it. Let me add the reverb here. Let's hit the jingle and
The best music, WABC.
Harrison, 8:09 on a Monday morning, first day of school. It's a beautiful morning.
Sunday morning, up with the lark.
That's pretty good.
I think I'll take a walk in the park. Hey, hey, hey,
it's a beautiful day. Anyway, I might be doing more lip syncs.
Oh, great.
Because people seem to love the lip syncs.
Funny.
Anyway, it's up on my Instagram. I have another lawn care observation.
Okay.
All right, and what was my last lawn care observation?
Was it about the guys blowing the debris in the street?
No.
The guys hitting sprinkler heads?
No, dude.
The guy smoking marijuana as you drove by?
Yes, that was as I walked by. So I think it was last week, it was the week before, I told the story that it was like 5:30 at night. This is a weeknight. I think it might have been early last week. And I'm walking down the road, and I'm walking by I'm about a mile from my house. I'm in the neighborhood setting, and there's a lawn crew. It's like 4 guys in a big, like it was a Ford F-250, kind of a jacked up F-250, big truck, with the king cab kind of thing. You got the whole, you got the 4 seats in the thing. Actually 5. I think you put like 3 people in the back. And as I'm walking by, big F-250, huge trailer on the back of this thing, the big open metal trailer. They've got a huge riding mower, all the weed whackers, all the edgers, all the lawn accoutrement on the back of this thing. This is a heavy vehicle. And I walk by, the doors are open. They have the doors like propped open, and the whole lawn crew are just hitting it, man. It is 4:20 time at 5:30. They are just pounding the weed, man.
All right.
And I'm like, oh my, and I'm walking through this cloud. I think I had a contact high, but massive marijuana, and I was just saying, I mean, is that really a good look for your lawn and garden company, your lawn care company, that, the crew is just getting baked right in front of the client's house after they finish the lawn job? All right, so that was my observation last week. So then over the weekend, this is Saturday, I'm doing my walk on Saturday, and I'm on another road in the neighborhood, and a lawn and garden truck, same deal. Pickup truck, towing a trailer, totally different. They drive by me, and just immediately as they passed, the smell of weed, the smell of marijuana, the smell of burning cannabis was just like a blast wave. It was, it kind of hit, it hit me like, and clearly they are grass experts.
So that's last week's observation.
All right. So the truck passes me again. So last week I walked by a stationary truck. Then this past Saturday, another lawn truck pulls by me, and the windows are, and just the odor of weed is just unbelievable.
Okay.
Right. So I said to myself, why don't they just admit it? Why don't you just name your lawn care company something like Stoned Off Our Ass Lawn Care?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
High as a kite lawn and garden.
Oh, look, we could do this for an hour.
All day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Bombed out of our brain lawn care.
Munchies mulching.
Meth monkeys.
Yes.
The meth monkeys.
Okay, I think it's a big jump from smoking weed to doing meth.
The meth monkeys.
I mean, it's not like I need copper wire stripped. Then I'd call the meth monkeys.
Yeah. Got 4 guys on the crew. We got 3 teeth among us. All right. And all kinds of sores all over their faces and everything. but how about just coming clean and just, you know what, be who you are.
Potheads Lawn and Garden.
Exactly.
That's great.
Yeah. Ganja gardeners. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Ganja gardeners. So
many names.
Oh yeah. If we sat down and wrote a list, we could go on and on and on and on and on with this. That's what I'm thinking.
MJ's Lawn Crew for marijuana.
Yeah. Hey, we have an update on the Taylor Swift situation.
All 3 concerts were canceled last week.
Yeah. So I think the concerts that were canceled, and these were in Vienna, Austria, because of the terrorist arrests. These individuals, teenagers really, right? 17, 15, 19-year-old. I think he might have been the ringleader. So we had the 3 Taylor Swift concerts that were canceled in Austria. I believe that there are some UK concerts coming up that are not canceled. Those, I believe the show will go on. But the follow-up to the Taylor Swift, for all the Swifties out there, the follow-up now for the latest on this story. This is crazy. The lawyer, one of the suspects' lawyers is speaking out
following the arrest of the kids.
Yes.
Okay.
Listen to this. Taylor Swift terror plot. Suspect's lawyer downplays the plan to carry out an ISIS-inspired suicide attack. The lawyer has the gall to say, oh, they were just playing with ideas. Okay. Yeah, because that's normal. Yeah, that's normal. You've got videos. You've got the arms crossed with knives. You've pledged allegiance to ISIS. You apparently had chemical devices, incendiary devices built.
Yeah, they were playing around with ideas, all right.
You had collected chemicals? Really? Oh, yeah, you know what? Nothing to see here. They were just playing with some ideas. Get out of here.
Just kids.
The lawyer for the main suspect in the foiled plot to carry out the Taylor Swift attack in Vienna, and I don't know what night they plan to, detonate or to try to attack.
Yeah, they were just playing with ideas.
Whether it was the Thursday, the Friday, or the Saturday concert. But the lawyer for the main suspect said yesterday, trying to downplay the seriousness of the plan, saying that her client was just tossing around, playing with ideas. I mean, what? What the? Really? You're going to go with that defense?
You know what,
when the cops found explosive devices and equipment and chemicals, and it turned out that I think it was the 17-year-old even got a job as part of the security crew
on the inside
at the concert venue. So you got a guy on the inside. They even had a blue police light for a vehicle so they could try to get close to the. I mean, this had gone well beyond They had,
just some ideas, some crazy kids.
They had materials for their attack. That's beyond, they were just playing with ideas.
No, they were just playing Call of Duty Taylor Swift edition.
Okay. All right, lady lawyer, Ina Christine Stiglitz. You stick with that defense and see how far that gets you in a Vienna court. Do you think they have vendors outside the courthouse in Vienna selling Vienna sausages?
Well, why wouldn't they?
That's what I'm thinking.
Only seems appropriate.
Just what I'm thinking.
Is Christina Stiglitz is the lawyer, you said? From Stiglitz and Stiglitz?
Ina Christine Stiglitz. Yeah.
Stiglitz and Stiglitz.
Yeah. And told Reuters that the Utes had only been involved with ISIS for the past month.
Oh,
I feel much better now.
So they're newbies.
Yes.
They're not even full-fledged members.
They're newly radicalized with bomb materials and chemical materials and a desire to bring a terrorist attack to a Taylor Swift concert in Vienna. Yeah.
Does ISIS have a probationary period for new members? Like a 90-day new hire thing? We're going to give you an evaluation after 90 days. So,
you a little name tag. Hello, my name is, you know?
I mean, most of the names are pretty similar, so I guess a name tag would be stupid.
I don't want to tell this woman how to defend her terrorist client, but go ahead. You try that defense and see how that works out for you.
Any information on like a makeup date on these concerts? Is she coming back around to Austria?
I haven't seen anything on an Austrian makeup date.
So one thing I did see is that Disney Plus, for free, in Austria released the Taylor Swift concert on their platform.
Oh, really?
So the concert was only in America or only in North America, but now the people in Austria got to see it free of charge on Disney Plus.
There was an item locally. Where did I see this? I saw this from my Channel 8's website about body camera footage shows the moment that deputies smashed a car window to save a dog trapped inside the extremely hot car. Yeah, this happened on August 2nd. The video came out just a few days ago. According to the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, the vehicle was locked, windows rolled up, and the dog was trapped inside for an estimated 30 to 45 minutes. 88 degrees outside. The interior temperature of the car was about 120 degrees. And you see video of Pinellas County deputies smashing the window, taking the dog out, and on the body cam you hear them saying, "You're okay, baby. You're okay, baby." And the deputies gave the dog some water, then took it to animal control for treatment. The dog was considered to be okay. And then later, the Pinellas County deputies found the owners inside a nearby courthouse and then charged them with animal cruelty. Who the hell on a hot Florida day would go inside a courthouse and leave a dog in a car with rolled up windows for 30 to 45 minutes?
Why were they at the courthouse in the first place?
Probably there because they're idiots on another charge. Who knows? But, just a little programming reminder, a little note for you that you are protected here in Florida. If you are a good Samaritan, if you're a just regular Joe or Jane citizen, and there is a dog or a child that is locked in a hot car, and you reasonably believe that they are in danger, you are allowed to smash that window and you have protection. That you will not be charged with breaking and entering. You will not be charged with burglary. You will not be charged with vandalism. I do not believe that I think you're protected. You don't have to pay for the window. Professor, look that up.
Yeah, the Good Samaritan law covers you every angle.
Yeah, give me the language on that. Just type in Florida. Type in Florida Good Samaritan, breaking window of car, dog, child. And I know we've talked about this before, that there are protections here in Florida in the event that you see something egregious like this. Yeah, if you see, here it is. If you see a child or pet locked in a car and in distress, call 911 immediately. Florida's Good Samaritan laws will protect you from getting sued for breaking a window if the intent is to save a child or pet in distress. Now, if you're going after the wallet on the front seat with hundreds sticking out,
different story.
Not protected. Saving a kid or a pet, protected. I just don't understand anyone that would leave a child or a pet in a hot car. That's insane. Hey, it's good to see that the computer models for this latest Invest 98L.
Ernesto?
Yeah, well, I don't think it could be Ernesto.
Oh.
Yeah. So the last I saw, well, I don't know where bring up the National Hurricane. I haven't looked at this since late last night, so I don't know what the latest advice. All right, so it's still say that again, Andrew. Bring up your microphone in the booth.
Yeah, it's still potential tropical cyclone.
All right. So it's still potential tropical cyclone 5, or I believe it's 98L investigation 98L. If it does develop into a tropical storm, it would become a named storm. And yes, Fester, you're right. It would become
Ernesto.
But the good news here is all of the models have this thing hooking right into the middle of the Atlantic. Like it gets close to, I think it goes over like the Lesser Antilles and then takes a big hook. You know, it looks like it could hit Puerto Rico as a tropical storm. And then after it leaves Puerto Rico, could turn into a Category 1 and then a Category 2, but it's curving up into the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Once it hits the Lesser Antilles, then Puerto Rico, and then goes up into the Atlantic. And that's the way we like it. I mean, listen, I wish it didn't have to potentially hit Puerto Rico or any of the Lesser Antilles, but I remember it just seemed that when I was younger, my 20s, so many of these storms, and even before that, it just seemed that we were in a pattern many times. Now, granted, yes, we always had, hurricanes that hit the United States, the East Coast, Florida, the Gulf of Mexico area, but it just seemed that a very large percentage of these storms used to like hook up into the Atlantic, and I always kind of dubbed that, the hurricane graveyard. But this particular latest wave that's out there, when you see the big blob and it's got a 90% chance of development and they've got the red hatched cone and it's coming towards us, but all the models have that thing hooking right up into the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, which is, as KC and the Sunshine Band once said, Bester?
Walking on Sunshine?
That's not Casey that's Katrina and the Waves.
Casey and Sunshine.
Casey.
I don't know. What?
That's the way. I like it. Yeah, curving up into the middle of the Atlantic.
If you have a weekend trip in Bermuda planned, you may want to cancel.
Hey, I'll hold this map up to MJTV. You can see.
Yes.
Yeah, these are a bunch of the models, and the consensus seems to be that what
people. Oh, where'd you get your information from? Oh, MJ held a map up to a black and white
in black and white
map up to the camera. Yes, I saw it on YouTube later in the day. Yeah, oh, good. Thank God MJ held that map up to the camera in black and white printering.
You're not too much of a wise ass, are you? On this first day of school.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just glad this isn't coming anywhere near us.
Well, that's what it looks like. So good news. Hey, I've got a crazy tipping item here. There is and I saw this. It just popped up in my feed. I'm doing the little bit of a scroll, and this pops up. This little video, a warning. A woman shot a video that she goes to the salon. She's at a nail salon. And on the little screen where you put your credit card in and you check, there was an automatic, there was a 75% tip.
Wow.
Starting at 75%. Say what? I mean, how deceptive is that?
Are you sure it wasn't like a 15% with like a wonky looking one?
No. This woman has a viral video now. Her name is Gabby LaCourte, mother of two, and she shoots a video just railing on the out-of-control tipping culture here in the United States. And she shows that she got her eyebrows waxed at this unnamed salon, and then she went to pay for the service and was stunned. The first tip suggestion started at 75%. So for a $21 eyebrow waxing, The lowest amount of the tip was 75% or $15.75 tip. Then it went to 85% at a $17.85 tip. And then the balls here, a 100%. These were the options: 75, 85, or 100% tip.
That's why I just say no.
Oh my God! And then I think you've got the custom tip.
I'll customize it. Thank you. I won't opt for a 75%.
Let me customize it to 0, to goose egg. That is obnoxious beyond belief. I know that, we had a story about locally that First Watch. And First Watch, they do a good job. Michelle and I and the kids, we had been to First Watch. We haven't been, that often lately. But I remember when the kids were little, we used to go to the First Watch in downtown Tampa.
Yeah.
Or we would go to the First Watch on Henderson, in the, the Fresh Market parking lot.
You mean the TJ Maxx parking lot?
Is it? Yeah. So we would go to, exactly. We would go to First Watch in there. But, it's been a while. Michelle's been, I believe, with Chloe to the First Watch, the new one they opened up on West Shore.
Okay.
But remember, we had a story about First Watch. And again, First Watch is a good operation, good food. But
I think they're based out of Sarasota or Manatee County.
Yeah, I don't. You sure?
I think so.
Okay, all right. So there was a story locally, and I know that somebody in Carrollwood had posted this, that the First Watch in Carrollwood, that they had a tip screen for they had a super tip, and it was like a 35 or a 45% tipping option for super tip. And I remember we talked about that a couple of months back. But I wasn't going to take calls on this, but the phones are ringing. If you wanted to weigh in on these tips, and a nail salon that the tip starts, the recommended suggested tip button starts at 75, then there's an 85, then there's a 100% tip. And this woman, Gabby, was asking how many people just don't even realize it and just push the button.
Click the next one. It goes on your card.
Oh, my God.
And then you don't even think about it. And then who checks their card?
If you want to weigh in on this, you have any thoughts on this, 800-990-1047, 800-990-1047. Let me hit phones. David in Tampa. Hi, David. You're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Hey, MJ. How you doing?
Doing well. Thanks.
So this is crazy. I was online looking at a watch from one of these micro watch companies. I won't say their name. And I actually I was going to buy it. It was almost $300. And when I went to check out, it actually come up with a tip screen and asked me if I wanted to tip the people who built my watch. And it was 15%, 20%, 30%. Like, what? For an online purchase.
Yeah, let me ask you a question, David. How much was the watch that you were buying?
It was $300.
Yeah. All right, guess what? The $300 plus the shipping, if they're charging shipping, and if they're collecting sales tax, which a lot of the online purchases, even in another state now, they collect sales tax. Guess what? That's enough. I'm going to tip you on top of that? No.
I know. I thought I was crazy. I was like, what in the world? I didn't buy it. I'm like, nope, I ain't.
Oh, hold on a minute.
The whole sale went down.
So you tanked the whole sale because you were pissed off that they were trying to get you for a tip?
Yeah, I just thought it was ridiculous. I'm like, no, I'm not buying nothing from these people.
Well, there you have it. Thank you, David. I appreciate the call.
All right, man. Bye.
Yeah, but you have to be careful. They're sneaking in these tipping screens everywhere.
It's out of control. I stumbled across a stat over the weekend that 29% of young travelers think relaxing on vacation is a waste of time.
Man.
You know what? I am not a young traveler. I mean, I'm young at heart. I feel like I'm 28 years old. I'm glad I didn't say 27 because that's the age. Amy Winehouse and Janis Joplin.
Nobody put that together.
The 27 Club.
Nobody put that together.
All right.
MJ.
So I mean, I'm more active now than I think I was in my 20s, my 30s. But the point is that I saw this that 29% of young people, and these are Generation Z. So Generation Z is births from what, 97 to 2012. That's Generation Z. My kids are both Generation Z. So Chloe and Julian, Chloe born in 2001, Julian born in 2004, both Generation Z. And I concur. I think the number's too low. But 29% of young travelers think that relaxing is a waste of time, meaning you go to a location, you go on vacation, and you just sit there and relax. Well, I guess it's what type of vacation you're going on and where you're actually going.
Yeah.
But the point I'm trying to make here is I do not go on vacation typically to relax.
Just to sit on your hands and just sit in a lounge chair by a pool.
Yeah, I can go sit in a lounge at the pool in my backyard for a hell of a lot cheaper than, airfare, hotel, and flying somewhere. The point I'm trying to make here is I went scuba diving. I went to Raja Ampat in late January and February in Indonesia.
We didn't hear about that.
Took Chloe along.
Oh, you did?
And I did like 42 dives in 10 days that I was there. I scuba dive. I am not going to the other side of the planet to relax. I'm going to scuba dive, and I'm going to scuba dive as much as I can. Guess what I can't do in Tampa?
Scuba dive?
Yeah, in Raja Ampat.
Okay. Yeah,
one of the most biodiverse environments, one of the most biodiverse meccas for oceanography, for sea life.
Yeah, but you're a scuba guy.
I realize
that makes sense for you because you're a scuba guy.
But when I go on vacation, for instance, I went down to Little Cayman. We did a guys trip just a couple of weeks back, and I went with Brian and Rich, and we all flew down to Little Cayman, and we scuba dived. And I did the most diving. I did all possible dives. We were down there, I think, 9 days, 10. I think we had 9 or 10 nights, and I did 4 dives a day on all of my eligible days, and I did 32 dives.
Was like Brian and Rich like, oh God, Todd's going for another dive. Let's just have him sit down for a little while.
I think that they think I'm a maniac or something.
Okay. So you are a maniac.
They did dive a lot. So I had like all 32. I think they might have had 28 or something, or somewhere around there. But when I go somewhere, I want to do stuff. If Michelle and I go to Italy, I don't want to sit around in the hotel room or the Airbnb or whatever. I don't want to sit around. Oh, you know what? We're in Florence. I just want to flop down on the couch and I want to read a book.
This hotel is so nice in Florence. Let me just sit here all day.
I mean, I don't want to do that. When I go on a trip, I want to go. I want to do.
Yeah, but like an all-inclusive resort trip is not a trip you would take, right?
Should we go to phones on? You know what? I'm curious. Let's go to the lazy-ass vacation phones right now.
Yeah.
Now, folks, do you concur? Do you subscribe to my maniacal frenzy? Or do you like to go somewhere and just spend a lot of money to do the same thing you could do at home? Just
the same thing.
Lounge around.
I got a nice couch at the house. I can sit there all day.
I just want to go to a different time zone to relax. All right. Or do you subscribe to my mentality of you going on vacation, go do stuff? 800-990-1047. Let's go. I wasn't going to take calls on this, but I'm kind of interested here in what you, the MJ Morning Show listener, has to say about this. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Yes or no? Do you like to go on vacation and then just chill out, or do you like to go on vacation and, again, do stuff? Is the part of the world, the region, is it famous for a certain type of event or certain type of sightseeing or tourism or excursions, things you can do? Are you on Team MJ or are you on Team Lazy Ass? All right? Are you on team spend a fortune to get somewhere and just lounge?
I think my wife is on team lazy ass.
Really?
She's content just staying at the resort, staying at the hotel.
All right, now, if you don't scuba dive or snorkel, and let's say you go to like French Polynesia or something, and you just want to, rent one of those
little huts on the water,
maybe like a hut on the water,
yeah.
And that's all you want to do. If that's your destination, I get it. Then I understand that. But anyone that says to me, "Hey, you're on vacation, slow down," I'm like, "No, I'm on vacation because I'm on a mission." I go on mission vacations. I'm going there to do stuff, not sit around and spend a lot of money just to become a comatose traveler.
Oh, you get a lot of rewards points at the hotel.
Let's hit phones here. Asif in Temple Terrace. Asif, you're on the MJ. Is it Asif or Asif? Did I lose him?
You there?
Asif, is it Asif?
Steve?
No, what is your name?
Steve?
Your name is Steve? Like
as in Steven?
Steve?
Right, like Steven.
Yes. Hey, Andrew.
Oh, my God, this is the worst.
Andrew, how the hell? The guy on line one is Steven, and you have AASIF, and you're telling me his name is Asif?
Steve.
Or Asif?
We're looking at a list of all the callers. If you're on hold, I'm looking at all your names. And Andrew wrote AASIF. What is this? Because he's in Temple Terrace? What the hell are you doing, Andrew?
Was that a Middle Eastern?
What are you doing, Andrew?
Andrew, turn your mic on.
Just because it used to be called Temple Terrace doesn't mean Asif lives at... It's Steve in Temple Terrace.
All right. Oh, look, he just changed it to Steve on the screen.
Thank you.
All right.
Sorry, Steve.
That's why Steve wasn't saying anything, because I'm calling him Asif.
He's like, who the hell is this Asif guy?
Steve, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Go ahead.
So it all depends on where you're going on vacation. Like if you're going to Florence, you're going to walk around, you're going to see museums. But if you're going to Lake Como, or my wife and I we're going to go to Lake Tahoe.
Hey, Steve, your phone is terrible sounding. Are you on speaker?
Hold on.
Yeah. Just pick it up. Go ahead. Say it again.
So it depends on where you're going. If you're going to Florence, you're going to walk around, you're going to see museums, you're going to do stuff. Going to Lake Como, or my wife and I are going to Lake Tahoe or Palm Springs, we're going to hang by the pool in Palm Springs because you see some of the sights, but it's hot, so you just want to chill. Or Lake Tahoe, you do a little bit of hiking, but you want to swim in the lake. That's what you're there to do. All depends.
Yeah, I agree. It does depend on your destination and what your goal is. But Steve, are you like when you go on a vacation, you go far away, that you really want to do stuff and not just kind of, for the most part, just lounge and do nothing, right?
Oh, hell yeah. Like I went to Prague last year. And
Hold on, where'd you go?
Prague.
Oh, you went to Prague. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, we haven't done. We want to go to Michelle and I want to go to Budapest, and we would love to go to Prague.
I recommend Prague because quite literally the beer is cheaper than water. It's literally like $2 American.
What if I don't drink beer? Do I pick a different destination?
Well, you might, but yeah, they're definitely known for the beer and the food. But
yeah, I'm not a beer drinker.
Bummer. Well, enjoy the more expensive water then.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. Yes, he'll spring for the highly priced water.
Thank you, Steve. Asif. Have a great day.
Andrew, that was terrible.
Yeah,
man.
I don't know how.
Asif.
You know what?
And I was believing it, too, because of Temple Terrace.
You know what? I got to get him to the Miracle Ear store for a hearing check. Seriously. I think he needs hearing aids or something. Julia in Clearwater. Julia, hi. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hi, good morning, guys.
Hey, Julia, go ahead.
You know what?
Yeah.
I mean, we live here in Florida, so I go to the beach at least once a week, so I don't need to take a vacation that I'm going to go and relax. You know, going on a Mediterranean cruise here in September, and there's not, there probably won't be too much relaxing, getting off and Athens and Corfu and all of that, and
yeah,
going to go see the sights.
Yeah, booking all kinds of shore excursions, right?
Right, exactly.
All right, I appreciate it. Hey, have a great time, Julia.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Thanks for listening. Cindy in Lakeland. Hey, Cindy.
Hi, I'm Team MJ.
Thank you.
I say, I like to immerse myself in whatever there is to experience wherever I'm going. Like, I can relax at home.
I know, like, if I go to Medellin in Colombia, I want to join a cartel.
Right.
Yeah.
They have cartel excursions there.
There's time to rest when you're dead.
I want to go to like those jungle locations where they're making all the coke underneath the lean-tos in the forest.
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I want to do the rooftop Pablo Escobar tour.
So a couple of friends of mine have gone to Colombia in the last year or so, and they said it's like the greatest place ever. And I'm like, get the hell out of here.
I hear the food is great, but there's certain places you got to worry about getting kidnapped.
Yeah,
we got the famous American DJ MJ here. We kidnap him, hold him for ransom. So, hey, Cindy.
Although I am in Polk County, so I could experience some of that.
Right. Cindy, thanks for the call.
Thank you.
Hey, the Cocaine Cowboys had a little stopover in Polk County. Yeah. All right. Just a few more calls here, then I got to move on. I have to do like the final Olympic update. Yeah, I've got my pile of, and our Olympic updates are like no other Olympic updates. Sheila in St. Pete. Hello, Sheila. Welcome to the MJ Morning Show.
Morning. I actually do both. I do excursions and then I relax.
So you like you're
I'm old too.
you're a combo platter person.
I am. Yeah.
Thank you, Sheila. I appreciate it.
Combo platters. Have a good day.
You too.
Surf and turf Sheila.
All right, two more. Wendy in Clearwater. Wendy, MJ Morning Show. You're up. Hi.
Hi, how are you guys?
We are well. All right. So what's your deal on vacation?
Well, I'm not much of a big traveler like you are, but we do go to the Keys quite often.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like snorkeling, which, I'm probably in the water literally probably 90% of the time. I mean, I literally have my mask mark on my face constant.
There you go. Would you say that you get there fast and then you take it slow? Way down in Kokomo?
Yeah. Yeah. But, I don't know. I'm a go. I mean, we go to North Carolina. I like, hiking, constant going. My husband, we stay at a cabin. He's sitting around the fire drinking, whatever, beer.
Yeah, Fester's hiking to the nearest barbecue stand.
Well, that's it. I mean, when you're talking about doing things on vacation.
I don't even hardly eat when we go somewhere.
See, we go on vacation. I only eat. I want to go to a place and then eat all the food there.
I don't know. You're in a whole different zone. I mean, we go grouper fishing out here, 50 miles out. That's like a vacation to me. That's our sport.
You know what? Speaking of like 50 miles out, have you ever been to the middle grounds?
Off of.
So off of Pinellas County, going out. I think it's like because I've had friends that have scuba dived the middle grounds, and they say it's great. And I just have never made it out there. It's like 100 miles, 80 miles, 100. It's far offshore.
No, I haven't been that far, but my brother-in-law is a captain for a yacht for a lawyer, and we met him at the Keys. He actually was,
What is he? Is he John Morgan's captain?
No.
For the
Captain Morgan?
Captain for the yacht. Hey, Wendy, thanks for the call. Have a great day, okay?
All right, you too.
All right, let me grab one more call on this, and we're going to move on to the final Olympic update. John in Paris. John, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, good morning, guys. Big time listener.
Thank you, buddy. Welcome.
See, I agree. It depends on the location. Me and my family, we just did a 10-day Mediterranean cruise all over Europe. And, I was prepared to relax, but they were not. They wanted to walk every city, about 8 miles in every city. Every city had an excursion.
Yeah, now we're talking. Yep, that's what you got to do. And what, you just sat on the ship?
Nope. I went out with them from 7 a.m. till 7 p.m. until we had to get back on there and probably walked about 20-something miles.
Look at that. Did you lose weight on the trip, or did you gorge yourself on the buffets?
Well, it was more Heineken. I kind of put the weight back on.
Thank you, man. Thanks, John. Appreciate you checking in. Oh, look at this. It's time for the final Olympic update on the MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM. Folks, make sure you spread the word that the MJ Morning Show is back on Q105. All right, no particular order here, just a lot of just various things. So I see that the U.S. has appealed the bronze medal revocation for U.S. gymnast Jordan Childs.
Now, why did they take it away from Jordan?
They've hired a lawyer, by the way. Did you know that?
Which one?
Jackie Childs.
Ooh.
Because that's Jordan's uncle is Jackie Childs. You know?
Well, Jackie Childs can appeal this
exactly
with the Olympic Committee.
No, but seriously, apparently the claim was that the U.S. Olympic team did not make a challenge to the score within the set time. I think you have to do it within a minute.
It was 4 seconds too late.
Exactly, 4 seconds too late. So they're stripping the bronze from Jordan Childs, but now the U.S. Olympic gymnastics team, they say they have video proof that their appeal for this score review was within. Is this an ABC? Yeah, bring this back to the beginning. Here we go. Listen to this. Here, go ahead.
American gymnast Jordan Childs is back home in the U.S. and trying to stay out of the fray. U.S. Olympic officials say they firmly believe Childs rightfully won the bronze, and they will appeal the decision to take it from her, saying they hope to resolve the matter swiftly and fairly. The latest now from ABC's Ike Ajachi.
Yeah, listen to this.
Tonight, after that controversial ruling to strip American gymnast Jordan Childs of her bronze medal, U.S. Olympic officials vowing to appeal, stating, "We firmly believe that Jordan rightfully earned the bronze medal." Late today, USA Gymnastics submitting video evidence to the Court of Arbitration that they say shows the scoring inquiry by Childs' coach was filed within the 1 minute deadline.
All right, let's hope they're successful. You know, I'd be so pissed off. I would grab a 3-week-old rock-hard French baguette.
Yes.
And I would start whacking Olympic officials in the face with it. That's what I would start doing.
What's the appeal? I mean, did somebody else get the bronze? Are they going to take it from, like, the lady from, like, Romania?
Well, you know what? I would get, like, flaming hot escargot.
Yeah.
And just put that in places that would be uncomfortable for those judges.
It'd be hard to get off. It'd be stinky. Oh.
So again,
make you regret ever coming to France.
It's a very special Olympic update here on the MJ Morning Show. With the whole thing done, and the torch has now been passed to Los Angeles. So did you see Tom Cruise with his stunt, jumping off the top of the arena, and then
I saw none of the closing ceremonies.
I saw just the video replay of Tom Cruise with his elaborate stunt. But listen to this. Samsung, the electronics manufacturer, Samsung, they make the Galaxy smartphones. I have not had a Samsung smartphone since the Galaxy, I think the S4, and it was crappy, and I never went back to Samsung. I think they've greatly improved their phones.
Sure.
But I just had a bad experience with a Samsung Galaxy, like one of the earlier ones, and I just never went back. So listen to this. Samsung apparently gave out cell phones to every competitor. Samsung, the South Korean electronics company, and a big sponsor of the International Olympic Committee, they provided all 10,500 competitors with a Samsung smartphone.
Wow.
One of the, whatever the latest iteration is, the Galaxy S24 Turbo Max Galaxy Ass Blaster,
so
whatever it's called.
So all these Olympians are walking around with their new Ass Blaster from Samsung.
Yes.
Do they get service?
Well, hold on a minute. Hang on a minute. I haven't given you the story yet.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's already a big deal that Samsung's giving out 10,500 phones.
Just seems like a lot.
Guess who didn't get them?
Who?
North Korean athletes.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Come on.
Well, listen to this. We can confirm that the athletes of the National Olympic Committee of DPRK, which is the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, which is a farce because it's nothing democratic about that place, they have not received the Samsung phones. Yep.
That sucks for the athletes.
Well, listen, like they're going to be able to connect to cell service in North Korea anyway? Come on. They'd probably eat the phones to gain any type of nutrition possible. They think the chips inside are actually some type of edible chip.
North Korea, they won 2 silver and 4 bronze. So congratulations to them.
Oh, yeah. And, I think they had the most food in their lifetime while they were in the Olympic Village.
Yeah, nobody complained about the food from North Korea.
Yeah, back home they're eating tree bark, dirt, and bugs is what they're eating back home in North Korea. I just thought it was interesting. Every athlete there got a free Samsung smartphone except for the North Korean athletes. It is 8:52 at the MJ Morning Show. I'm not done. I still have, do you know about the Steph Curry wife controversy?
No.
Oh, yeah, Steph Curry's wife.
In Paris?
Yeah, the U.S. Olympic basketball team, we won gold, so did the women. And Steph Curry's wife had a situation with security, with police in Paris. So we'll get to that coming up in just a moment. Hey, we got a lot of stuff, and in fact, almost an hour to go. So whatever you do, don't move, keep listening. We just get better from here. Yeah, the previous part of the show, we sucked. We get really good next.
Yeah, we have been really bad today.
Yeah, we've been awful. It's just been a terrible, terrible program.
Next hour.
But I'll tell you what, next hour,
Yes.
we really step it up.
We're loose now.
Yeah, we're all lubed up. We're back with the final hour coming up here on the MJ Morning Show. And let me give you a couple of... on Ford on a Monday. Roxanne back tomorrow. Roxanne decided to take the day off to take her kids to school. So
I hope she enjoyed it.
All 2 minutes of the drop-off.
Yep. But, it's also getting the kids ready. Apparently, she has to indoctrinate Doug into the new morning routine.
Yeah, loading up the kids on, sugar-filled breakfast cereals, everything. Yeah.
She'll avoid her children in the morning for the next year. So let's give her today.
Turning the kids into like sugar-filled little, little kids like on cell phone vibrate.
Little hellions.
Exactly. All right, 9:04 at the MJ Morning Show, and the continuation now of the Olympic update. The very rambunctious Olympic update here on the MJ Morning Show. All right, so the total medal count, the last we have here, the final medal count, the United States, we won 126 medals, and that puts us as number one. So we are the champions, my friend. We are the champions. So we have the most medals overall, 126 at the Paris Olympics, and we did split with China on gold.
Yeah.
So we have the most gold medals, 126, but gold, we split with China, 40 gold for us, 40 gold for China.
We had a lot more subsequent medals, like we had 44 silver and over 40 bronze.
Yeah, we had a total of 126. China only had 91 as the final medal count goes. Who's last? Who had who was absolute last place?
Zambia.
Zambia
had a bronze.
All right, Zambia.
Well, hold on. There's a bunch of countries.
Congratulations. Oh, a bunch of ones.
I don't know. I've never heard of this country.
Oh, Ivory Coast.
Oh,
Côte d'Ivoire.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I've heard of Ivory Coast.
It's so that's the French pronunciation, but that's Ivory Coast at one medal. Cape Verde, one medal. Refugee Olympic. Wait a minute. What's the refugee Olympic team?
Oh my God!
Look at this. It's the who are they?
I don't know.
The refugee. What do they come in on rafts?
I have no idea. They won one medal.
The refugee. I got to learn more about the refugee Olympic team.
There's some really obscure teams here.
Go back to the list.
Well, let me go here. Yeah. Show more.
All right,
go to the bottom.
Peru had one medal.
84.
Qatar had one medal, and those are bronzes. These are all bronzes, right?
Yes.
Qatar had one medal. Singapore had one medal. That person, or all the other Singaporeans that did not medal, they're going to be caned when they get back to Singapore. They're going to get off the airplane chewing gum. Then Slovakia had one medal, and then Zambia had one medal. So there you have it. Congratulations. The U.S. was fantastic. There was an incident.
Hold on. Why would Puerto Rico have their own team?
Really?
Number 80.
Hold on. Where's that?
I just saw this. I didn't know this.
Puerto Rico has their own team?
And they won 2 bronze medals.
Wow.
Why wouldn't Puerto Ricans be part of the Americans?
Yeah. Puerto Rico's a Commonwealth of the United States.
Huh. Okay.
Interesting. All right. So what happened with Steph Curry's wife? Of course, Steph Curry, the superstar guard with the Golden State Warriors. Steph Curry, part of the U.S. men's Olympic basketball team. They won gold. Congratulations. When Steph Curry's wife, the beautiful Aisha, was trying to leave, she was with Draymond Green. And
Draymond Green, another ball player.
So he's another ball player. And for some reason, Draymond Green was with Aisha Curry. And they were trying to get back to their car. I guess they had a car service, and the streets were blocked. And Aisha and Draymond, they could not get to the car because the French police were blocking the area because apparently the French president Macron was leaving in his motorcade, and they were trying to get back to where their car was picking them up. And they couldn't. Okay. And they got into a confrontation with French police. And I guess at one point they're going back and forth. And then Green, he accused the French police of hitting Aisha Curry's baby in the head. And then Draymond's on video saying, so even after you hit the baby in the head, there's still nothing you can do to get them out of here?
I mean, a presidential motorcade does warrant other people waiting, but you don't beat up a baby.
And so Green is also on the Golden State Warriors.
He's a teammate of Steph Curry's.
Steph Curry, exactly. So that's the drama, and there's video out there, and I don't know what's going to. I'm sure they finally got to their car, but I mean, I can understand if you've got a secure area where the French president Emmanuel Macron was leaving. I mean, of course, you're going to secure that and block it off and make sure that he's got safe pass. Anyway, something happened.
She's gone now. They've said au revoir.
She did. They're out of there. So then you had some maniac climbing the Eiffel Tower just a couple of hours before the final closing ceremonies.
Nothing sketchy like this has happened the whole Olympics. And I know security's been on super high alert.
Some guy scales the Eiffel Tower. There was an evacuation, and this was hours before the closing ceremony yesterday in Paris. Shirtless dude was seen scaling the 1,083-foot Eiffel Tower in the afternoon. Yeah, so they had to evacuate the place.
Dude, he got pretty high. He got above the rings.
He did. So they have the huge Olympic rings that were mounted a good chunk up the Eiffel Tower, and that's a good way. I don't think it's maybe
half?
maybe just below halfway.
Yeah.
So this guy,
wow.
They finally were able to peel him off of there. And then, did you see that Clearwater native Bobby Fink?
Yes.
That he also got like a bonus surprise gift?
Sort of. I guess two NFL players, they didn't realize. I didn't know how much Olympians made for winning a gold medal.
Guess what? I did not know this either, but I've since seen that the U.S. Olympic Committee, they pay athletes $37,500 for every gold medal. They get $22,500 for silvers, and you get $15,000 for bronze. It turns out that former NFL wide receiver Chad Ochocinco,
right,
along with Shannon Sharp, Hall of Famer, NFL.
They have a podcast.
Yeah, and they are offering additional money to medalists.
Who broke a world record.
Yeah. So they decided to offer their own money. Any athlete who wins gold, $25,000. No, you didn't have to break a record. So apparently they were giving any gold medal athlete $25,000 and $50,000 to a gold medalist who broke a world record.
That's what I heard. I just saw
and that was $50,000.
I just saw the part that involved Finky.
And it turns out that Fink, he's getting $50,000 and was made aware of this, and he's like, "Oh my God!" So $50,000 on top of the all the money that he's getting from because he won a what did he win? He won silver.
Swimming.
He won silver in the 800 meter, and then also gold in the 1500 meter.
Good for him.
Yeah. So look at that.
Somebody told me, I think it was Crazy Dave, our loyal listener, if the University of Florida was a country, they would have finished like fourth.
But really?
Yeah, all the students or all the athletes,
UF, really?
all the students that have a tie to UF somehow.
That's great.
All won medals.
And then I mentioned earlier Tom Cruise flying in on a cable from the top of the
stadium
building. Yeah. So I guess what the Red Hot Chili Peppers were playing, and the torch at the closing ceremonies was passed to the next Olympic city, which will be here in the United States, which will be Los Angeles for the 2028 games. And Tom Cruise was handed the Olympic flag, rode off with it on a motorcycle as it will make its way now to Los Angeles. And he, I guess what, parachuted. So they filmed a video. So a video was filmed of Cruise riding through the streets of Paris onto a jet, and then he parachuted into the. I guess then he's seen parachuting into Los Angeles. I saw a clip of him jumping. I saw that. So he jumps. Is that like the Hollywood sign or whatever?
No, right now he's on top of the French Stadium and he's landing.
All right, so
Put the audio up.
Yeah, there's no audio. It's just noise.
All right.
Yeah. So so he's in the French Stadium, right? So and then he jumps off the top of the French Stadium for the closing ceremonies, and then what? He gets the flag, and then is he seen then jumping off the Hollywood sign? Is that the thing they pre-filmed?
So he's walking through all the U.S. athletes here?
Yeah.
All right.
You know, when you look at I did not see it, so I'm just going with some of the written reports here. Andrew, did you see this?
I did.
All right. So explain the Hollywood sign to me.
He climbs up. Well, they
that was pre-filmed, obviously.
The two O's in Hollywood became the bottom circles
of the Olympic rings
logo.
Gotcha. So he's handed the flag. He jumps off the top of the stadium in Paris, and that was live.
Right.
And then he goes through the athlete line and then gets the Olympic flag. And then
once he leaves the stadium, they roll the piece.
Right. Of him then, I guess, in Hollywood. Yeah, I didn't see it, so hopefully I described it properly. But let me tell you what I did see. I saw the video I did see the replay of him jumping off the top of the stadium in Paris. And Tom Cruise, his face has totally changed. In just the last couple of years, Tom Cruise looks like totally different.
How old is he now? 60?
It's got to be 63, 60.
Yeah. He's an older
62,
man now.
63. No, but what happened in the last couple of years where his, listen, he still looks great, but what happened in the last couple of years where his facial structure, he's 62. What happened where his face has totally changed? It's like a much fuller, rounder, puffier,
old man face. He's 62 years old.
Almost like some water retention or some kind of bloat going on.
He has to take a water pill.
I don't know what's going on, but his face looks, his whole structure of his face looks really, really different. And it just seems that it's somewhat sudden in just the last couple of years that happened. And then finally, with our Olympic update here, the food sucked, which in Paris, the food is supposed to be fantastic.
Of all the places to have great food, you'd think it'd be Paris.
Yeah. So when North Korea hosts the Olympics in 2032,
yes,
the food will probably be better. No, I'm kidding. North Korea is not hosting the Olympics in 2032. But the food, seriously, the food in Paris was complained about incessantly by all the athletes that it was like grotesque. It was almost inedible. The only saving grace, they said, was a chocolate muffin that was offered in the Olympic Village dining halls. And everyone said the chocolate muffin was fantastic. And Fox News Digital spoke to a New York chef who apparently has duplicated the chocolate muffin and made it even better.
Okay.
So the biggest memory of the Olympics is the chocolate muffin. All right, here's the recipe. 1 steak, 8 tablespoons unsalted butter, 1/2 cup canola, vegetable, 1 cup sugar, 1 tablespoon pure vanilla extract, 3 large eggs, 1 pack. All right, there's the recipe.
Got it.
All right.
Good.
So, and that's, if you want, do a search. Do a search for Olympic Village chocolate muffin dupe recipe, DUPE. If you want to know how to make the muffin, just do a quick Google search. The story will come up. It's either Fox News or New York Post. Olympic Village chocolate muffin dupe, DUPE recipe, and you'll get a recipe that's even better than the chocolate muffin that all the athletes raved about, and the only food item that they apparently raved about. I mentioned this earlier. I did not forget. We've just been busy here on this Monday. When it's car accident time, what time do you think is most common for a car accident?
9:18 in the morning.
Let me play the thinking music, would you please? 9:18 in the morning is wrong.
What time is it right now?
You know, it's 9:18. Oh, you looked at the clock. I didn't even look at the clock.
Yeah. I would think it's afternoon drive. It seems like afternoon drive traffic.
No, you're right.
Is worse than going in.
It's not morning. It is afternoon, and it also depends on the part of the country, and different states have different times. So, Hennessy Digital analyzed data from the or the NHTSA, which is NHTSA, which is the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. And they reviewed data from their fatality and injury report to see the times of day that had the most fatal crashes in each state between 2017 and 2022. And they found that there is one time that has the most, and 12 states. So 12 states are in this category. It's 5 o'clock to 5:59 p.m. So it's the 5 o'clock hour in 12 states, including Colorado, Arkansas, Oregon. Now, Florida is not in the 5 to 5:59. We're in a different time. So the most states fall in the most accidents, injuries, fatalities, 5 p.m. to 5:59. Then we have North Carolina, Ohio, New York. Those are among 10 other states where it is 6 p.m. to 6:59 p.m.
So the 6 o'clock hour.
6 o'clock hour. Florida, not in that one either. So where the hell is Florida? Where does Florida find ourselves as
All
far
the old
as
people, early bird specials?
Nope.
We're the 4 o'clock hour?
Nope. Nope. Florida is between 8 and 8:59 p.m.
Really?
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. So the most dangerous time with the most fatalities and injuries is 8 to 8:59. I wonder if that has to do with like elderly people trying to drive at night.
I'm elderly. I don't like driving at night.
Can't see and, son of a... I wonder if that's what it...
Well, maybe,
what it
MJ,
is.
by that time, most of rush hour is, all but over, and then people are driving faster.
Maybe so. So Florida, be careful. Well, listen, be careful all the time. Like, right now, just whenever in your car, be careful. Don't get distracted. Put the phone down. And Florida, though, 8 to 8:59 p.m. So just a little heads up on that. The final chunkalage of the MJ Morning Show is next. The final segment. And we're not leaving you with leftover garbage to fill time. It's always, quality material. And we'll finish things up. We'll wrap things up. I got a bunch of stuff, including, I should probably save this till I have something I want to get Roxanne's opinion on. I'm going to save that till tomorrow. There is a shocking, I say, story about an Alaska Airlines flight. No, this is not the door plug blowing out. But there's another Alaska Airlines story you got to hear. You're not going to believe what the pilot said to the people on the plane. The pilot makes an announcement to the passengers, and you're not going to believe this. This is incredible. You're like, what? How the hell did this happen? Stand by. You'll hear that and more next here on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome to MJ Classical Radio. You're listening to Boccherini in D minor. As we continue with the final segment here on the MJ Morning Show. So Alaska Airlines, they've had their issues. They had the door plug. Listen, not their fault, but it was their plane.
Still a rough couple of months for old Alaska.
Yeah,
Air.
so Alaska had the door plug blowout on that 737, that MAX. I mean, what a mess. Boeing, they're trying to put things back on track. I mean, talk about off the rails over at Boeing, trying to build back trust. And it's important.
One or two doors fly off. A couple of planes go missing.
Well, listen to this. This is Alaska Airlines, and this is their fault. This is an unforced error on their part. So you're on an airplane. You're on an Alaska Airlines flight, and the pilot makes an announcement, and you're like, what the bleep? Passengers were on an Alaska Airlines flight. Now, it is branded as Alaska Airlines. It was actually operated by their regional partner, SkyWest.
Okay,
but listen, it's a SkyWest airport. It has Alaska markings on the side. So as far as people know, it's branded Alaska Airlines. But I just want to be 100% accurate that this commuter. This Alaska Airlines flight 3492 was operated by SkyWest, regional partner, and they had to divert. The flight from San Francisco, bound for Jackson Hole, Wyoming, had to divert, was rerouted to Salt Lake City. Why?
That's a whole state away.
Yes. Thank you, Fester. Thanks for that geography lesson.
I know my West pretty well.
Yeah, thank you. The pilot had to make an announcement that he was not qualified, did not have the certification to land at the Jackson Hole Airport.
Huh.
How do you not know this before you take off? How does the airline that schedules pilots, if there are certain specifications and certain qualifications and ratings to land in Jackson Hole, or maybe some other airlines or airports, maybe even Pitkin County and Aspen, for instance, that's a tough landing. I mean, how do you even get in the cockpit and you're en route and then suddenly, oh, I'm not qualified to land where we're going?
Wait, we're going to that Jackson Hole? Oh, man.
Oh, I thought we were going to the Jackson Hole Cheeseburger Diner, right off the Grand Central Parkway in Queens.
So, MJ, like Tampa Airport, the runway seems...
By the way, if ever in Queens, folks, yeah, you're ever headed to LaGuardia, you go, if you're on the Grand Central, and if you're headed to LaGuardia, just take a couple of miles before LaGuardia, take a look over on the left if you're heading toward the airport from Manhattan. And you're going to see this old, metal-ish diner. It's the Jackson Hole Diner. And they're famous for their cheeseburger. Very great cheeseburger there.
I bet.
Yep.
So, Tampa Airport, it seems, and I'm a novice, but it seems like it's pretty open. If you're flying in, it seems like there's not a lot of natural obstruction.
Except for the occasional iceberg floating across 19 left.
Aside from that.
Yes.
Of course. My apologies for not acknowledging the iceberg in Tampa.
Yeah.
However, do you need to be certified to land at Tampa Airport? Or is Jackson Hole, Wyoming, that tricky of a place that you need a different training?
Let me give you the details. So the flight was August 8th. So this is last, Thursday?
Yeah, last week.
Right. Seemed routine until it approached its descent into Jackson Hole. As passengers prepared for landing, a passenger reports that the pilot announced, "Hey, I'm really sorry, folks, but due to me not having the proper qualification to land in Jackson Hole, we need to divert to Salt Lake City, Utah. We'll keep you posted on the next steps." The plane made its way to Salt Lake City, where it remained on the tarmac. I don't like to say tarmac, but it's the ramp, for about an hour and a half before a new pilot arrived to take over. The replacement pilot successfully landed the aircraft in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, but not without some added drama. Passengers described the landing as one of the bumpiest they've ever experienced, adding to the overall stress of the situation. By the time they finally arrived, the flight was 3 hours behind schedule. The key question that arose from the incident was, how did a pilot end up on a flight to an airport that he wasn't qualified to land at?
That's a good question.
A scheduling error seems unlikely, even if the airline made a mistake along the lines of when American Airlines flew a plane to Hawaii that wasn't qualified for overwater operations. You got to have the little if you look at like the landing gear, there's a marking. OTAS, I forgot what. There's a marking on airplanes for airplanes that are certified for over water. Yeah, what is that called? That's going to drive me nuts. I got to do a search on that. Over water aircraft certification.
All right. You can't do this after the show.
No, because I want to talk about it on the show. I'm not going to be able to find it.
Oh, no.
Son of a... Yeah, but if you look at an airplane, if you look at the landing gear, like the doors, a lot of times it's printed on there when the aircraft is able to go over water.
I'll check it out next time.
All right. So how did that happen? That makes no sense. Perhaps not being qualified wasn't a formal statement as much as an expression that the captain didn't feel confident at the controls in a particular wind scenario that later led to that bumpy landing.
You know what, MJ? I got to hand it to the pilot.
Maybe he got the craps or something.
I mean, at the end of the day, I want my pilot to land the plane, but if they don't feel like they can do it, or if they have the yips, let's put it down somewhere else and let somebody else take a try at it. I'm not mad at the guy for this. It seems silly when you read the headline, "I'm not qualified," but if he was having second thoughts about the safety of everybody on board, he's pilot of the year as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, he didn't bite off more than he could chew. And yes, if a pilot doesn't feel confident, you want him to make that decision before he attempts to land.
Yeah, good for him.
Oh, did you see that Brazilian?
It just fell out of the sky.
Oh my God! Like in a death like a stall death spiral. That was a prop. That was a turbo prop. That was an ATR 72. Which I've been on an ATR 72. I've been on an ATR 42. Silver Airlines which I've had a good experience on silver. I've been on their ATR 42s, but I think their fleet list says that they have some of the 72s. Like one of the few to fly that aircraft in the United States anymore, and it's a good plane. On silver, which I would easily fly silver again. I flew them over to Fort Lauderdale and back maybe a year and a half ago, and it was great. The ATRs that they fly are very, very new. I have no issue flying silver. But that Brazilian ATR that fell out of the sky, what the hell happened? I mean, it had to be some kind of catastrophic mechanical failure because the pilot was very experienced. But that's some chilling video. Watching that thing just spiral out of the sky and then, captured on cell phone video. That's nuts.
Yeah, scary stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, that's bizarre. Was he not qualified, or he just got the
yips?
Got the yips,
that's what it is.
or what is the Simone Biles thing?
The squigglies?
The twisties.
Twisties.
Yeah, he got the yips and the twisties. He got the yisties.
Hey, good for him for acknowledging it and not having to go through with it.
Yeah, but that just sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. What sucks even worse? Hitting the side of a mountain.
Yeah, hitting the Grand Teton.
Yeah.
hitting the Tetons.
The Rockies don't play. I mean, they're not soft. They're called the Rockies.
The Rockies. Well, there you have it. In my neighborhood, some of the little canals and inlets, there are some signs posted. Danger, like no fishing, no swimming. You want to know why?
Why?
Poop water. Yeah.
It's in your neighborhood now?
Yeah.
You live in Ben Turd Davis South, right?
So whatever's affecting the Ben Turd Davis Beach along the Courtney Campbell Causeway apparently is also affecting some of the water and canals in my neighborhood.
Do people swim in the water behind your house?
Yeah, you know what?
It's bay water.
Yeah, I don't often see people swimming in the canals, but I see people like kiteboarding or whatever the hell do you call it?
Paddleboarding?
I see kayaking, paddleboarding. There's some of the cruises, the canals in my neighborhood, and the dude has his dog on his paddleboard.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's like there, and the dog's just standing on the paddleboard, just as he just goes in and out of canals.
If the bay is nice and still, no problem.
Yeah. But the story that I have, essentially laying this out, is that because of Tropical Storm Debbie, a tropical storm when it passed us, that the sewers in the Tampa Bay area were just bombarded. And we just had all kinds of sewage and pollution, just all kinds of crap ended up in the bay. And it just churned up these bacterial numbers. And again, I saw in my general neighborhood along Tampa Bay and some of the canals, I've seen 2 signs that were clearly posted, by city or county officials that do the water testing, and it just warns you: don't swim, don't fish, because of a high bacteria. So listen to this. I'm driving home yesterday. I was just doing a little supermarket running some errands yesterday, and I don't know. Chloe needed some baby carrots. She needed some Noosa vanilla yogurt. What else? Michelle needed some orange juice. So I'm making a little bit of a run. I'm coming back to the neighborhood, and I see 3 kids fishing, literally right next to the sign.
Do you warn the kids
I
that
did.
they're going to get some turd mullets?
I did. I said, dude, you're going to catch a turd on that lure. I did.
Was it?
Yeah, and
if you think today's going to be a crappy day fishing, you just wait.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping that no one would see me and say, oh, man, look at that grown man, that creep talking to those young kids fishing. But I thought I thought it was what?
Who's thinking that?
I don't know.
Nobody's thinking that.
I just thought it was, my civic responsibility that it's like, hey, kids, can you read, or are you the illiterate South Tampa kids that I hear about?
They're around.
The kids literally were fishing right next to the sign that's warning of bacterial and fecal and sewage contamination. Don't swim, don't fish. They're literally right next to the sign that's implanted in the grass, and they're fishing. I'm like, guys, hey, I don't know if you saw this, But Tampa Bay is turd water right now.
The Tampa Bay Turds. What a great name for a sports team.
The Tampa Bay Turds. I love it.
Brown and green uniforms.
Maybe some yellow in there, too.
A
little number 1, number 2. No, but seriously, Debbie, kind of messed things up. And I warned the kids, and they continued to fish. I saw they caught something, and they ate it. They had sushi right on the spot.
Right there. Sliced it open. Ate the roe right out of the belly.
And I said, hey, how does it taste? And the kid said, a little crappy.
Just a little. But not bad. Just a little crappy.
What am I, entertaining you over there?
I think we're entertaining each other.
All right, we got to roll. It's 9:43 at the MJ Morning Show. It's a Monday. It's an X-Force body workout Monday for me and Michelle. So got to do my workout, get maybe 3 to 5 miles in today out on the road. And hopefully the first day of school was remarkably successful. Andrew, I haven't seen any issues, right? Fester, before we shut things down, hit a couple of the local news sites quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I saw anything. It looks like first day of school hopefully has gone smoothly.
First day of school, raving success.
Well, it doesn't say that.
It doesn't say that. I haven't seen any issues either. We're not going to.
But most kids back to school today, so the patterns change. Summer is officially over. Well, not technically until toward the end of September.
Hey man,
but
I got my county-sponsored free babysitting back, so that's all I care about.
What?
My county-sponsored free babysitting.
Why do you have county sponsors? Sending the kids to school.
Watch those little bastards till about 2:30 this afternoon.
I thought after school or something. All right, folks, have a great day. Roxanne should be back tomorrow unless she wants to take tomorrow off to take her kids to the second day of school.
That'd be fine. Listen, they're called personal days for a reason.
Have a great and if you haven't seen my little video, hang on, let me shut this off for a second. If you haven't seen my little video, people seem to love it, and people are like asking for more. And it's my my little lip sync that I did. And if you missed it, where's my audio from today? Here we go. Yeah, so I posted a lip sync yesterday of me lip syncing this song.
Sunday morning, up with the lark. I think I'll take a walk in the park. Hey, 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 it's a beautiful day.
Yeah, listen, I look like a total goofball on this video, but people, and I knew I would, syncing Beautiful Day, Beautiful Sunday from Daniel Boone, some top 10 hit from 1972 when I was 6 years old. People seem to love it. The video is on my Instagram. It's 10 seconds long. And read the comments. People are like, oh, man, this made me smile. This put a smile on my face. I loved it. Do more of this. It's on my Instagram. Check it out. Certified MJ Radio. That's Certified MJ Radio. And give me a follow while you're there as well. And leave a comment. Let me know what you think of my little lip sync video. My little lip dub, as Chloe calls it. Folks, have a great day at 9:46. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning on the MJ Morning Show. And let's be careful out there.